Start YouTube. All right, let's get into TikTok. Do MSM2. Okay. All right, let's test going live on, test it out on TikTok here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Why is it so low? It's so low. Why is that? Oops. Well, let's just make it go higher. All right. Okay. Like I'm ready. Okay. Welcome in. Hey. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday. One more day till Friday. That's always a good thing, right? So welcome in, y'all. Hope you're having a really, really good Thursday. I certainly am. So let's just get things started here. Oh, I hate these little, okay, there. That looks good. I hate these little puzzles. These drag slider things. All right. That's ready to go. Okay, very good. All right. So welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday. So if you are a believer and you have evidence that God is real, request up on TikTok. Tap the little pink and blue people at the bottom of your screen. On YouTube, go to the link up above my head. And make sure that you are at least 18 if you want to talk on the live. You believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. And you have evidence that God is real. Hey, Jessica, Zeno. So welcome in. And on the YTube side, Pseudo V Science, welcome. If you want to trust but validate. Yeah, there's probably forms and triplicate paperwork. Yeah, we're not doing that. I hate paperwork. I really do. So let's double tap the screen. Let's get the likes going. And let's share it with our friends. Let's do everything we can to support this live. And I've got my prop today for circular arguments. I've got it today. So we're going to bust this out whenever we hear a circular argument. So this is this is what I got at the ready. So here we go. Answer the question, what's your evidence that God is real? And my evidence he's not real, it's the same evidence that Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, leprechauns are not real. Same evidence. So, oh, the Kalam argument. Nope. But if you want to talk about it, come on up. Oh, also, if you're requesting up as a guest, personal experience is not evidence, because then you have just validated every religion out there. But if you want to go with that, we can try, but it's going to get shot down pretty quick. So, well, again, it's the same evidence as Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, leprechauns, Bigfoot. So just because you can't see it, that means that Bigfoot is true, right? That's what you're saying. If you heard some evidence satisfied you, would you become a believer? Of course. Wouldn't worship the God. Fuck no. But I believe the God is real. But that's the second part, is wouldn't dare worship that fucking God. Not the Christian God. Hell no. No. So tap the screen. Let's get the screen going. Let's get the taps going. Let's get some likes going. Let's support the live. So because you've never seen God, you think it's fake. I don't believe it. There's no evidence. And why doesn't God appear for everybody? So the universe wasn't created. It's always been here. Jesus is king. It's always existed. I'm defining myself out of existence. Jonesy. Funny. Funny. That's what I always say. If the Christian God is real, that's not anyone that's not anyone I want anything to deal. Yep. God has never appeared to anyone who's never heard of him before. Do you have evidence that has always existed? Yep. Quantum mechanics. Read up on it. The universe cannot always have existed, as that implies time is infinite. Yep. Time is infinite. Time can be infinite. That's what quantum mechanics has demonstrated. What are your beliefs? Not God. So, why would you believe a human, though, since he wasn't from the first what? And I don't believe a human, I believe many. Time is quantifiable. Yep. Quantifying something is only a potential infinite? No, not true. Not an actual infinite. Not true. Demonstrate that. Do you want to be convinced? I'm wondering the reasoning. Yeah, of course I want to be convinced. Do you have evidence to convince me? Have you studied quantum gravity? A little bit, and it's fascinating, yet really confusing. Life's a glitch. Super confusing, but Yeah, it's quantum gravity is like way. I barely understand quantum mechanics from like a very, very elementary perspective, and quantum gravity is like way over my head. Question for Christians. The Bible says the serpent was cunning. Why did God make him cunning? Good question. I love listening to this while I'm cooking dinner. Jerk chicken Alfredo. Ooh, that sounds good. We're having enchiladas tonight. Do me a favor. Search on Google, can time be actually infinite or potential infinite? Why don't you come up and show me? And time can be infinite. And it's not, and there's a difference between infinite and eternal. What kind of evidence do you want? Anything. Any kind of evidence, because there's no evidence right now. Zero evidence that God exists. Time is infinite if you just have faith that it is. Nope, more than faith. We have actually evidence, because faith is belief without evidence. So we actually have evidence. Yeah, and again, we have evidence that the universe is eternal. So we don't need faith. We have actually evidence. We have no evidence that God exists. So that's faith. Quantum gravity has no external concept of time. Well, that's quantum gravity, but we're talking quantum mechanics. Shroud of Turin, no, fake. Bible is evidence. How so? Yeah. If you want to come up and talk about the Bible, I'll bust that up all day. Let's go. 500 witnesses. What are the names of the witnesses? There were no witnesses to the resurrection. No evidence of that. There's zero evidence the universe is eternal. No, that's not true. Read up on quantum mechanics and the quantum eternity theorem. Have you ever had faith before? Yeah, I have believed without evidence before. I was a Christian for over 30 years. God is the first person. No evidence of that. Prove it. My evidence is that we're here. Well, my evidence, that's evidence of evolution through natural selection, adaptation, and abiogenesis. So how do we know? Yeah, 20 years. Why are you doing this live stream? To get evidence. What changed your mind? No evidence. I want to believe in things that have evidence. Most important witness. There were no witnesses. Zero witnesses. No witnesses to the resurrection. No witnesses to the ascension. Zero. Did Jesus not be seen by young girls? I don't know anything about that. But not going to get into that. Unless people see signs and wonders, they will by no means believe. How about just seeing God? That would work. We don't need a sign or a wonder. We just need to see God. There was evidence. There was no evidence. The shroud is horrible evidence. It's not even real. It's a fake. What's your opinion on how the world came to be? Gravity. It's not my opinion. It's scientific theories that have been demonstrated and peer-reviewed. Who were the witnesses that universe was like from like the start? Well, you just killed your own argument, because who were the witnesses for God creating everything? Nobody. There were no witnesses. So that means God doesn't exist. You just killed your own argument. Congratulations, Jesus is king. Good job. So Jesus is king just demonstrated for us that God does not exist. Good job. What is an atheist? A person who does not believe in the existence of any gods. He'll be back soon enough. And there's the threat. There it is. There's the threat. Gravity isn't a fact, but oh my God. Gravity isn't a fact. Wow. We have science deniers today. Were you always an atheist? Nope. I was a Christian for over 30 years. Atheists cannot answer this question. How did it all start? Universe didn't start. It's always here. And neither can Christians. Christians can't answer it. Hey, Redhead Trouble. Trouble is here. Oh, we have serious trouble. I saw that mic you were using. So we have serious trouble. So what made you an atheist, friend? Well, an atheist is defined as a person who does not believe in the existence of any gods, and there was not enough evidence for the existence of any gods. So that's what caused me to be an atheist. Did you see the world start, or you just have faith? Yeah, see, this is just a dumb argument, because you're just disproving the existence of your God, because you didn't see the world start, right? But you are saying that God did it. But see, we have evidence that the universe always existed. We have evidence that the earth was created with gravity. We don't have evidence that God did anything. All right, we have our first guest, the Daily Goy. Interesting. So let's see what this is about. No witnesses to the resurrection, 0. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, are you at least 18, and do you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Yeah, I'm 28.
All right. And which God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
All right. And what are your pronouns?
What do you mean?
What pronouns do you prefer to use?
I'm a man.
That's not a pronoun. That's a gender.
That's a person.
That's a person. Yeah. I asked what are your pronouns?
There's either male or female, correct?
Those are genders. So
No,
what pronouns do you go
you're
by?
either born with.
No. What are the pronouns that you like to go? You don't like to go by pronouns? You don't use pronouns?
No.
No? Okay. You don't use pronouns. All right. What's your best evidence that God exists?
Well, I was gonna, yeah.
Nope.
I mean, there's,
nope. Can't use a pronoun. I is a pronoun. Can't use that.
I'm him.
Him. Okay.
I'm him.
You're him. All right. Very good. Okay. What's your evidence that God exists? Is real.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that Jesus Christ existed, and there's a lot of evidence that substantiates that he died on the cross and resurrected. And there's 500 witnesses that witnessed his resurrection, and they died on his behalf.
There's witnesses to the resurrection. Who?
Substantial witnesses.
Substantial. Well, I didn't say. I need names. And do we have independent writings of them? Like, did they write anything attesting that they saw something? What do we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, but you're an atheist, correct?
Uh-huh.
So your form of belief is based on that you believe.
There is no belief.
But there is a belief.
No, there is no belief.
You have to believe that there is no God.
No, there is no belief. What's the definition of an atheist?
That there isn't.
What's the definition of an atheist?
That the belief of no God.
No. That's not what the definition of an atheist.
Well, you can't substantiate that there is no God.
Atheist is defined by the Oxford Language Dictionary, a person who does not believe in the existence of God or gods.
But you have to believe that there is no God.
A person who does not believe in the existence of God or gods. So it doesn't say
atheism
you have
is a form of belief.
It's not a form of belief. It is no belief.
Are you open to the idea of there being a God?
Are you saying that Oxford Language Dictionary is... No, we gotta, let's clean this up first. Are you saying the Oxford Language Dictionary is wrong?
I am saying that you have to have a belief that there is no God.
No, you don't have to have a belief that there is no God. No, you don't.
Yeah, there's no... Why are the smartest people in the world, right? Nikola Tesla.
Who doesn't believe in the existence of God or gods. It doesn't say you have to believe there is no God.
Why are the most brilliant people in the world acknowledge that there is a God?
So are you saying that the Oxford Language Dictionary is wrong? Yes or no?
I am saying that you have to substantiate your belief in
is the Oxford Language Dictionary wrong? Yes or no?
I am saying that you are wrong.
Is the Oxford Language Dictionary wrong? Yes or no?
Yes, because you have to prove that there is no God.
It's a simple question. Oh, just like I have to prove that there's no Santa Claus? Is that how that works? We got to prove there's no Tooth Fairy? We got to prove there's no leprechauns, no Bigfoot? How do you do that?
There's a lot of evidence that substantiates that there is a God. And
do you believe that little blue men live inside of Venus?
Are you saying that the smartest people in the world are idiots?
Do you believe that little blue men live inside of Venus?
I'm asking you, do you think that the smartest people in the world are idiots?
Do you believe that little blue men live inside of Venus? No, I'm not saying that. Do you believe that little blue men live inside of Venus?
Well, that's what you're basically saying. That's
not what I'm saying. Okay, are you going to keep dodging my question? Because this is intellectually dishonest. So are you aware
No,
it
that
says
is-
let
no,
your
that's
yes
exactly
be
what
yes
you're
and your
saying.
no
You're-
be no?
You're comparing God to
So
Santa Claus.
Daily Goy, you said you believe in Jesus, right?
Correct.
Is okay. So is answering you need to answer the question. Do you believe that little blue men live inside of Venus?
Do I believe that there's no evidence to indicate that there are little blue men?
Do you believe that they live inside of Venus? Yes or no?
No.
No? Okay, prove that they don't live inside of Venus.
There's no evidence to substantiate.
What evidence to substantiate?
There's no evidence to substantiate that claim.
What evidence is there to substantiate the claim that little blue men do not live inside of Venus? You said you don't believe it, so prove it. They don't.
Based off of evidence, there's no way to substantiate that there is no little blue men that live in Venus.
Okay, so but you have to prove it according to your logic. You have to prove that they don't live inside of Venus. If
Well,
that's
there's a
what
lot
you
of
believe.
evidence to substantiate that Jesus Christ walked this planet.
Okay, so show me how it's done. Demonstrate that little blue men do not live inside of Venus. Show the evidence.
Just no evidence.
There's no evidence. Okay, so then you have to believe it.
No, that's not how this works.
Oh, yeah. You just told me that's how it worked for me. So rules for thee, not for me.
We're going based off of evidence. Evidence, because your
Yeah,
form of
so-
belief is that.
Okay, I want you to show me how it's done, Daily Goy. Show me how it's done in proving that something doesn't exist. Show me how it's done.
Improving, but you can't prove that Jesus never.
And you can't prove that little blue men don't live inside of Venus, so they must live inside of Venus.
There's a lot of evidence to substantiate based off historical data that.
Okay, you're
Jesus
still
Christ did
ignoring my
walk the earth.
question. You can't.
Well,
I want
no,
you to
no, it's not
prove that
ignoring your
little blue
question, it's
men
just being
don't
intellectually
live in.
dishonest.
Prove that little blue men do not live inside of Venus. Prove it.
You're being intellectually dishonest.
I'm
just
not
like you
being
told me I
intellectually.
was.
I'm not being intellectually
are.
dishonest. I'm proving
You
a
are.
point.
You're
Okay.
not proving any points, man.
I'm proving plenty of points right now.
Well, can I pray for you right now?
Okay. No, you can't pray for me right now. Fuck
Why?
you. You cannot pray for me.
I want to pray for you.
Okay. Go pray for me somewhere else then. Fuck you. You're not going to pray for me. Not without permission. See, we have this little thing called consent that Christians don't understand. Consent is, oh, Jesus freak. Okay, we can talk about consent because Jesus freak did not get consent in the last live we saw him in. So everybody cover your drinks when we bring Jesus freak up. All right. Jesus freak. How's it going?
Hey, what's up? You made the accusation that I don't care about consent. Can you demonstrate that?
How old are you?
28, my man.
All right. And what are your pronouns?
He, him.
Fantastic. Okay. And what's your best evidence that God is real?
I asked you to demonstrate your claim that I don't care about consent.
You came up here with this question on the board, right?
You made the claim that I don't care about
You
consent.
came up
I'd
here
like you
with
to
this question on the
demonstrate
board, right? Did you see the question on the board when you requested up? Did you see the question on the board? Okay, this is not how this is. Okay, if you want to kind of run lives, go start your own fucking live. This is my live, okay?
I
So
don't get to make baseless claims
here's
against
the
my
here's the
character.
question. Did you see the question above my head when you requested up?
Did you make a claim against my character? that I don't
Did
care
you
about
see the question above my head when you requested up? We can keep doing this for the next 28 minutes if you want
consent? You
until
made the
somebody
claim. I made
kicks
no
you.
claims.
So, did you see the question above my head when you requested up? Yes or no?
Sure, and you made the first claim.
Fantastic. Okay, so that means that when you came up here,
You made the first claim.
the implication is that you were going to answer the question.
Can I
So,
justify your claim, bud?
so
Should I
what
just
is
leave
your
it
evidence that
disingenuous?
God is real?
Yeah, you made the first claim.
What
that
is
I,
your
don't
best
care about
evidence that
consent,
God
so
is
go
real?
ahead and justify that, or I'm
What
just gonna
is your
go.
best evidence? Then go. Bounce.
All right. Well, you're
I got 10 people waiting behind you. You think I really give a shit? You think I care that somebody with 29 followers is going to threaten to leave? I don't care. Okay? So, here's the deal. If you're waiting in the guest queue, there's a question above my head, all right? So, if you're in the guest queue, you're waiting to talk. First of all, you have to be at least 18, all right? That's a TikTok terms of service thing. You have to be a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. And then you have to have evidence that God is real. So there's a question above my head. And so please answer the question. All right? Okay. So let's try this again. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's go to Bad Gal. Maybe this will go a lot better. How's it going, Bad Gal?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Okay. For TikTok purposes, are you at least 18?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Okay. And which God do you believe in?
I believe in the Abrahamic God,
Okay.
Jesus, Elohim, whatever.
Okay. And which pronouns do you prefer?
She, her.
Fantastic. Okay. What's your best evidence that God is real?
So, best evidence that God is real, I wanted to say, like, I guess you could just say there are historical claims that he existed, right? Personally,
That
my
God
belief,
existed? Yeah.
no, not God specifically, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that.
That he existed, that he was crucified, and
Mhm.
and it's obviously very hard for people to prove that he rose again from the dead.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you a question
Sure.
about what you believe as far, like, I know that you are like a facts-based guy, you believe in science,
Mhm.
you've been talking about quantum theory, all that type of stuff. I've studied string theory myself. My personal belief is that God and science like go hand in hand.
Mhm.
There's no, I guess it's interesting because I mean, I want to say I can 100% prove that he exists, but I know it's such a faith-based matter.
Okay. It's all
Um,
based on
and
faith.
it's very subjective for every person. So like I could say like, oh, I've seen signs that I was asking for signs and then it happened. But
Mhm.
then you can always say that that's 1 in a million chance that, it could have either, based on how many different options there are, you can wind up having
Well, if it's
it's going to happen either way,
subjective,
maybe or not.
yeah,
It's
but
so
if it's
subjective.
subjective, that doesn't mean fact. That means opinion, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I
Okay.
feel like that's where a lot of these people are getting tripped up. So far, the two people you had on are like, I'm like, why do they want to, if they really want to prove something to you, why be so disrespectful and rude?
I agree.
I don't get that part.
You see how it goes,
Um,
everybody? See how when you're respectful and you just answer the questions, things just go so much easier. Yeah, absolutely.
because I've had a lot of wrestling with my own faith personally
Mhm.
throughout my life. I mean, I've studied Islam. I was Buddhist for a while, Hinduism, Jainism, everything. Like
Mhm.
I was really really like searching for something, but I was
Yeah.
raised Christian.
Yeah.
I fell away from the church because I didn't agree with a lot of things that they believe, and I realized that a personal relationship is the only way for me to have any relationship with God, basically, like in
Okay.
Christ. So
Well,
I don't know, the church itself and all the facts and all that type of stuff. I don't know if I necessarily understand, but like I feel like if you do have a connection with God, that is proof enough for you. Then like your reality is the reality that you live in, and in one way or another, it's kind of almost like it creates
okay.
itself.
Okay. So it sounds like this just ultimately comes down to faith. So then that means that every religion is true, right? Because every religion operates on faith. Like
I kind of
Hindus
believe that
operate on
too.
faith. Well, but they are diametrically opposed to each other, right? Like Islam is not Christianity. That's totally
No.
different, right?
No,
Norse
but I
paganism
believe that
is
every
not.
person on earth like has that in one way or another throughout history has had like encounters with something that they believe to be God. And you got someone in like Asia, you got someone in
Mhm.
India, like you got somebody in even like North America. They all have some type of creation story, or they all have their own like belief system and stuff like that. So to me, that kind of shows that God shows himself to people, but they don't know what to do with it.
Well, if there were actually, well, then why hasn't everybody had this experience then? Because if it's just based on personal experience, because the thing is that scientifically we can't tell the difference between a person having a religious experience and schizophrenia.
That's true.
It lights up the same areas of the brain. So how would you be able to test whether it's schizophrenia, an illusion, or something real?
Hmm. Is there a similar thing with dream studies and stuff like that too, though? Like whenever you're sleeping in REM sleep and
Yeah.
so that's like, I mean, kind of like prove that you had a dream, but you can just show that there's parts of your brain lighting up whenever you're on a screen with electrodes connected to your head. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So there's parts of your brain that light up, and your brain also emits certain chemicals when you sleep. that's different
Okay.
than when you're awake, right? And so like your respiratory rate changes and things like that. So there's other markers that indicate that you're having like REM dream sleep. But yeah, the activity in the brain is like the biggest indicator. So yeah, it's
Okay.
correlative, right? And so then you have to rely on the person saying, well, did you have a dream? Do you remember having a dream? And if
And
they
then it's
did,
like, oh,
then
well, maybe they
yeah.
did, maybe they didn't. Who
Yeah,
knows,
so
right? Like,
it all points to it. Yeah, but I mean, they could be lying, sure. But then again, if you've got, the same data coming from their bodies and the people reporting the same thing, that they're all having dreams, then it's probably a good indicator that they had a
Yeah.
dream, right? That they didn't lie.
yeah. I remember when I was younger in school and stuff like that, when they would talk about the Big Bang, I remember my church telling us that the Big Bang was fake and that
Oh,
was just
I think you got away from your mic. I can't hear you.
I was recording I remember back in school, like Bible school, whenever I used to talk to them about the Big Bang theory, and they
Yeah,
used to
yeah, I
say,
still can't hear you. Yeah, your mic sounds really far away.
"Can you hear me now?"
No.
No. Hold on.
Oh, there it is,
Let me
right
turn
there,
my mic.
right
Okay.
there.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so what I was saying was that back in Bible school, I used to get into debates with my the people who were, the church leaders, Bible leaders, and stuff like that about the Big Bang theory, and they would say that they were teaching it us to in school because they were trying to say like that disproves God somehow.
Yeah.
But I always would tell them, I'm like, who's to say God didn't do that? Who's to say that God didn't just make the Big Bang happen? I mean, if he's so powerful as everyone claims, then why would it be out of his reach to do something like that? And then of course we're
Sure.
going to try to make sense of it. It didn't make sense to me. So
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like God and science go hand in hand in that, like, because of
How would you differentiate then between God creating the Big Bang and a giant snail who farted and created the Big Bang?
I guess
How would you
I guess it's like,
be able to
do
differentiate?
purple people leaders, are they in charge of the world? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it could
like,
be
it's-
anybody, right? It could be anything. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
It's like
no. But
so
that's why
like
I think there's
when
one God, and he does
Okay.
everything for everyone, but like everyone doesn't know what to make of that God, so they make him whatever their human mind can comprehend and like
Okay.
shape into a form of a God. So
Okay.
like, I
Well,
don't know.
That's interesting. And then but then again, it kind of goes back to my question. And then how do you differentiate between that versus there being no gods versus, the Hindu gods being all real? They could be, so this one God, it could be totally wrong. Like how,
So the
so
Hindu
what
gods are
test
all
could you
actually
set
supposed
up?
to be like aspects of
Yeah.
like one source kind
Right.
of though.
So what test could you set up to demonstrate what is the truth? How could
Interesting.
how could you set that up? Because you should be able to verify. That's my name, Trust But Verify, right? You should be able to verify
Yeah.
that. How do you verify it?
So I guess verification.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
'Cause
that
it's
it
kind of like
winds up-
this. It's kind of like this. Like
What do you think?
if I just told you, hey, bad gal, this morning, I levitated and spit fire, and I've got 500 witnesses who will attest to that. So I'll just go into chat and say, hey, type a 1 if you saw me levitate and spit fire.
Mhm.
And then we'll just wait for all the ones to pop up, and we'll say, see, everybody, these are all the people who witnessed. See, there's one right there, one witness right there, at least one. So that means I levitated and spit fire, right?
Yes. Not really.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, not really. I mean, obviously, like, nobody saw that, but well, okay. So I get what you're going at. I guess what I would also like to say is I'm not going to involuntarily pray for you or anything like that, but
Thank
I
you.
do hope that I don't think it's me. I'm also just, figuring this out on my own. I've
got
been
you.
going through a spiritual journey this whole year,
Mhm.
and I feel like I felt closest personal bond with God recently, and like that, things have been going well for me. So, and especially when times haven't been going well for me, I've found some comfort, I guess, in the gospel and reading the Bible and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of wisdom to be learned from it. I don't think that like one person should get this one book and be like, this is like over you and you should believe this and blah blah blah. But I think that if it ever comes down to it, and if you wind up finding someone who can actually substantiate any of these claims, and you find the answer you're looking for, I really hope someone's able to do it.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, one thing about that though because Virgil's Aeneid, it filled the same role. The emperor of Rome at the time wanted something written that would legitimize the divine start of the Roman Empire, right? And so Virgil was commissioned to write this long ass poem
Dante's
about
Inferno.
that. No, Virgil's Aeneid.
Virgil's Aeneid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically it talks about how the Greek gods and Aeneas, it led to the formation of the Roman Empire. Okay. And so, and of course the Romans just stole the Greek pantheon and just renamed all their gods, right? But it's all the same gods. And so what it's supposed to do is just to say, this is why the Roman Empire is so awesome and badass, is because the Greek gods ultimately wanted this to happen. So this was divine.
Yeah.
Okay. And this gave a lot of people comfort at the time. So it gave them a lot of comfort reading this. And it was like, you know, it was like national pride, like patriotism in a way. So does that make it true though?
No, not necessarily.
Right.
I think it's something that, and I guess comfort is something that humans like.
Yeah, we
need.
like.
They'll
Yeah.
do whatever they can. They'll do whatever they can to get comfort.
Yeah, of course. Like comfort isn't truth. Like, you know, kids hug teddy bears for comfort, but that doesn't mean the teddy bear is real, right? It actually doesn't offer any real like comfort or any. It just helps.
Well,
it
that's
helps.
why I think that psychologically God is important for people, whether they wind up believing in it or not. Like, I think that like it's important for people to have something to make sense of the way that the world is so like confusing and fucked up. And you know, like I think that like honestly, one could say that it's a huge coping mechanism.
Yeah,
but
it is.
like honestly,
I'd say that.
it's definitely not harmful unless you're the type of person who is like, I'm going to force this coping mechanism upon you.
Yeah.
Now you have to believe this or else you're going to burn in hell, which I also
That's
don't
a
necessarily
big
believe
problem.
in.
Yeah.
I don't believe in hell. I believe that people who are bad, their souls are burned up into eternity they're gone. I don't believe they come back. I don't believe they go to heaven. Heaven is like when you die, and when in the Bible, whenever Revelations happens and whenever, you know, Jesus comes back, I believe that every person will have a chance to see him, be like, and if Revelations happen and Jesus comes down from heaven and floats in the air and is like, hey, here I am, and someone who's an atheist is like, oh, that's not real, then like, I mean, at that point, like, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you don't go to heaven, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's right in your face and you have it right there and then you don't believe it, then it's like, I mean, I guess it's just not for you then, you know what I mean? Like, but
Right.
I feel like almost every person who would be able to see that type of proof would wind up believing, and I believe that means that almost every person will be able to go to heaven whenever, you know, everything goes away.
Yeah. So kind of going back to what you were saying earlier about, you know, this could just be one big coping mechanism, right? It got you through some tough times, which is great. I think that it being a coping mechanism is perfectly fine. And I also agree with you, but if it's used to legislate and take people's rights away, that's a huge problem for me. That's actually immoral.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt.
And it's against God's jurisdiction too. Like, I don't believe that God wants to us to be taking the rights of people away. And for them to believe what they believe, because that's why he let us be here in the first place, was for us to, you know, do it. It's almost like what I've come to terms with in my mind of why I'm even here, or why any of us are here, and why God would want us to exist, is just for maybe him to experience like life through us. You know what I mean? And I mean,
that we're experiencing life for God.
Yeah, or he does it through us. Like
well,
we do it for him.
Is he all powerful and all knowing?
Yeah, he is.
Then why would we need to do that for him? Because he could just do that himself, right?
Yeah, I think he's all powerful, all knowing, but you know, you can know everything about a subject, but still want to talk to someone to know what they think, right? Like to see what they would want to do or how they would handle something. Like if you know every single way that something could be handled, wouldn't you want to know how someone else would do it?
Well, that means he's not all knowing if he needs to know how somebody else would handle it, because he would already know how somebody else would handle it. You know what I mean? Because he's all knowing. He knows
and feeling
everything.
Is different. I guess is it God knowing and feeling? Would God feel the things that we feel?
Well, feeling is also it's like an offshoot of knowledge as well. Like when you feel something, you can identify the feeling, and that's knowledge. So that means God would know what a feeling is. Oh, there's a super chat from David. Oh my goodness, a $55 super chat. Woodpeckers are proof that God is real, in my opinion. Okay.
There's the Lord God bird. The Lord God. They're like, oh Lord God, look what a bird.
You know, those
that's fine.
woodpecker, that might be the case, but man, they are quite a pain in the ass too.
Have you ever seen the Lord God bird? Actually, kind of like it's a bird from it's extinct. Supposedly, they don't exist anymore. But it was supposed to be so beautiful that they called it the Lord God bird because it's like, oh Lord
Really?
God, what a bird!
Oh,
Yeah, no,
that's
you can
interesting.
look that up.
That's
You can look
interesting.
that up. It's
Interesting.
kind of fun being
Okay.
kind to it in a way. But,
Well, I don't know, man, because like woodpeckers are a pain in the ass. I mean, I had some on a property,
I
and
guess you could say that could be like a relationship with God. Couldn't be kind of a pain in
just
the ass,
having
but,
to
you know.
put up the damn shiny things on like the tallest parts of the buildings because they just peck and peck and peck and peck, and it's just at all hours of the day and night, and oh my God, it's just annoying. So
They said
maybe.
just get her number and move on. I'm
Yeah,
sorry we
maybe.
can't have an intellectual conversation with that.
Yeah, and my wife wouldn't like that
Person.
anyway. I'm not here. I'm
Not-
not
nor
here to
my
pull.
husband.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nor
I'm
my
not here to
husband.
pull. I'm not here to pull. I'm not here to get numbers. I'm just here to talk
Anyways,
about. Yeah,
also,
exactly.
I will say my husband recently converted back to Christianity this last year recently after being an atheist for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That was nice. That was nice that for him he felt like,
Okay.
he's been doing pretty well with it too. I know it was hard. We got into this relationship knowing we were in a different belief system. It was always really hard, and people on my end, my Christian family members were always like, don't do that. You're not supposed to be unequally yoked. You're not supposed to be with someone. And in my belief, I was like, any amount of comfort I can give him and any amount of understanding he can give me, it was never like you have to convert type of thing. He just wound up doing it on his own. And so, I mean, it's very interesting also, just real quick, for people in the chat who are so divided against each other about like Christians and non-Christians. Like, I mean, you never know what happens whenever like, conversation is coming forward between people who don't agree with each other. I think it's really important to have conversations like this, whether I wind up convincing you, which is like the goal of this chat, or whether, you wind up convincing me like, oh, maybe it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, either way, it's important to be able to have open dialogue and not go into this, like, just for anyone who joins
Right.
after me, like, don't go into this, like, trying to convert this guy, because I mean, like, you can maybe give him some understanding, but I mean, come on now, like, don't be irritated. That's all.
What would it take to convince you that there's no gods?
I don't think at this point in my life, I don't think there's anything that could convince me not. Like, I always, because I'm in chats like this all the time. I actually have a lot of like, because I find it intriguing to see different points of views and stuff like that. But so far, nothing has really done it for me, because I feel my own spiritual calling, and I feel like that's the
What
most
would you
important
say
part for
then?
me.
Yeah. What would you say then if I said the same thing? Like, there's nothing you could say to convince me that there is a God. How would you
I
take
think
that? How would you
if
receive
there
that?
was nothing, if there was really nothing that I could say to try to convince you, that could actually convince you that there is a God.
Yeah,
Again,
it's just
I guess
it's
maybe
just
because
the
I'm
same
in a,
position
maybe
you
I'm in a
you
faith,
have, but just the other way around. That there's no
yeah,
gods.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
But I guess because I am involved in a faith-based belief system, I feel like I still have faith that there is one thing, one day. Never, you have a whole life ahead of you. You probably got like 60 plus years ahead of
Oh
you,
wow,
right?
she's really
I,
kind. I ain't
well, you're
got
gonna
that
live a
long,
long
but
time. You could live
okay.
a very long time. You never know.
That'd
My
be a
grandma just
record.
passed away at 97
All
this
right.
year.
Okay.
And so like it's like, I mean, I don't know how old you are. I'm not going to be like, oh, you got good 20 years left in you. But anyways, no. It's like I always believe that there's just one small thing that can change the tide in any type of situation for any type of thing. And
Oh, I know what it
so
would take to convince me. I know easily.
what,
It's
like
easy.
him like flying down and like, hey, hi, I'm here. This
Would
is
you
me.
say
I'm
God is
Jesus Christ
extraordinary?
from the Bible.
Yeah. Would you say
Um,
God's extraordinary?
Yes.
No
I
other God,
would.
right? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty extraordinary. So I would
I think,
say
but the thing is like
it would take
the no
something
other
extraordinary.
God thing, right? Like the no other God thing. I think that all the gods are all God. But that's so unpopular for like a Christian to say.
Well,
Like,
see,
I don't know. I
the
believe in
wild part
source.
about that,
Like,
I get that. The wild part about that is, see, because I've talked to all people of all different religions, right? And none of them can produce any evidence that any of these gods exist. So if we have all these gods, bad gal, how come we can't find evidence of one? Like there's thousands of gods that people currently worship, thousands,
Mhm.
and we can't find evidence of a single one right now today, not a single one. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard to prove. I would say that. I think that like I think it's an interesting thing. Also, hold on one second, to the person who said
Yeah.
that I have my own religion, I think that you should maybe seek into talking to God personally and not believing just whatever your pastor spews at you. Just to let you know.
Because I mean, I used to think I talked to God. I used to think that God talked to me, and that I heard the voice of God, right? And so, of course, that all turned out to be not true. But again, like, because it sounds like this is unfalsifiable, and then if it's unfalsifiable, bad gal, then that means that if we take any belief that's unfalsifiable and then just say, well, I have faith it's true, then it's true, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I'm
Oh,
getting at.
can't hear you again.
I think every time I put my phone on the charger, it does that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like I feel like truth as far as facts based goes, like you have certain metrics, numbers, and science to look at for truth, right?
Mhm.
And then if you take all that away and you just go by human existence, like let's pretend that, science never happened and we're just, the
Could even be more
apes
than
living on Earth,
science.
and we're just like,
Like it's not
like then
science that
yeah,
my
you're
mom
gonna see
exists,
one
right?
thing is God and one thing is not God.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, I was just saying, like it's not science that my mom exists, right? My mom is alive; she exists, and I can demonstrate that. I can give you plenty of evidence that she exists. I can call her up on the phone, and you can talk to her. She'd probably think it's weird. She's like, "Who is this woman?" But still, she would. I could give you, lots of evidence that she exists, that she's real. I can show you a birth certificate. I mean, I had a mother. It's pretty obvious I had a mother, right? Can't
What
be
do you
here
do
without
whenever
one.
there's no evidence for existence? Sometimes some people don't have birth certificates. Sometimes they are just there, but then maybe they. What about the people in the Amazon who are born every single day, or like, and they're just
Well, we could just go there and
completely
demonstrate that
undocumented,
they're there. Yeah. I mean,
what
like
if you don't have a camera?
somebody alive is, I mean, if you don't have a camera, I mean, we'll bring one, you know what I mean? But you could, you could ask them for a DNA sample. You can, for a little bit of blood, there's just a lot of things you could do to demonstrate that somebody is real. And we can't do any of that with God. We can't take a picture. We can't take a video. We can't take a recording. Can't take any DNA sample. I mean, we can't do anything. So why believe it? Why believe it if we can't do any of that? Oh, here's a $2 super chat from Henri. Keep pounding, brother. Pound. So,
well,
yeah. So why believe
as
it?
far as proof goes, I mean, I feel
And
like,
another
again,
$55. I think that's TRY 55. I think that's
I would say the
Turkey?
Big Bang.
Is that
Big
Turkey?
Bang is proof?
Maybe Tenet Square might have the answers for
We went over
those
the Big Bang
in
already.
wonder, in my opinion.
Well, I said sorry. My husband walked in and he's
Oh,
like,
it's all
well, the
good.
Big Bang. He's like the Big Bang, and I'm like, oh, we went over the Big Bang, but I mean, we didn't really touch on the Big Bang too much. I mean, like, so is
I mean, the
curious. Sorry.
I was-
Yeah,
okay.
no worries.
So, like,
how you doing, man?
hey, I'm I guess her husband.
Hey, how you
I
doing?
just walked in like in the middle of it, so I was like, oh,
Cool.
And my whole thing, because she said I was atheist from like, I would say 14 to 25,
Uh-huh.
and I grew up Roman Catholic, and I just it wasn't for me. I didn't like a lot of it.
Why were you atheist?
I just couldn't see it. I had a lot of trauma happen, and I was
I'm
going
sorry
through
about
like
that.
this, I guess, this phase of
Yeah.
like, why would this guy let this happen?
Mm,
And that's how I grew up, and I grew up really resentful of it.
okay. All right.
And
And then what
as I
convinced
grew
you?
up, I kind of like I'm like in college. I'm studying. I'm a biology major, but
Mm-hmm.
my whole thing, the fundamental rule of like science, like the first one is energy or matter cannot be created, or energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right?
Correct. And that demonstrates
So-
that the universe is eternal. Because if you look at quantum mechanics, because that's what quantum mechanics implies. It also implies that time is eternal. And if time is eternal, because time and space, you know,
Yeah.
are interwoven. So that means time, space, and energy are all eternal. And those are the basic building blocks of the universe, right? So That's what quantum mechanics basically demonstrates. And the quantum eternity theorem has also demonstrated that, which is an offshoot of quantum mechanics. And we use quantum mechanics every day, right? Our phones, my earbuds, my laptop, So without quantum mechanics, there would be a lot of things that we wouldn't have in our world right now. So, it's just been demonstrated over and over and over and over again. So, to deny quantum mechanics would be to deny science, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not too well versed on quantum mechanics or anything like that, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, essentially,
But
it's
at
like
least-
this. I can actually give you like a very, very easy synopsis of what it is. So just imagine a whole bunch of kids on a playground, right? You got a whole bunch of kids on a playground, and you want to calculate the exact position of Johnny, where Johnny will be at a specific time, right? So what quantum mechanics basically tells you is that Johnny could be anywhere on the playground at any time, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to calculate the probability. Like let's just say you want to calculate the probability of Johnny being at the swings at 3:00. Well, you can do that. And so once you do that, what they call the wave function, which would be the playground, it all collapses into where Johnny exactly will be at 3:00. That's just what quantum mechanics is.
It's
So
just based on math, like an algorithm almost.
it's an equation. It's a Schrodinger equation. So essentially what happens is, so what it says is that you can calculate the superposition is where all the possible positions of a particle will be, right? That's what so Johnny being anywhere on the playground, that's his superposition. You can calculate the superposition of Johnny at any time, past, present, or future, which implies that time is eternal. So time could not have been created by anybody or started. It has always existed. And if you can calculate superposition at any time, that means you have to have infinite space. So, and infinite energy to do that. So energy, time, and space are all eternal. And those are the basic, fundamental, elements of the universe, right? The universe is like a container. It's a manifold. And it contains those three things. So, so that's why I say the universe has always existed. That's the evidence we have of it.
Well, I don't even think in the Bible it says that God created the universe, does it? Like, does it say, or does it just say he created Earth? That it was all dark and then
just said,
he
let there
created
be
Earth?
light. He said he created
Let there
light,
be
which he
light,
couldn't have
right?
been because there were because photons are energy and energy has always existed. So he couldn't have created light. So just,
But then again, it could have been light that we don't see because there's also different waves of light that are literally visible by human eye or
Yeah.
not. So I mean, it technically could have been human light.
could have been light.
this is, what
Could have
we
been
can
somewhere
see,
else on the spectrum, but they're all made of photons, which is energy, right?
Yeah. So I
And-
mean, here in theory, what if light existed already, but he created the light that we can
That
tell?
we
Because
can
imagine
see?
explaining
Well-
this to somebody back in. Imagine explaining this shit to somebody who is literally back whenever Ahab and freaking I don't know, all the
they were people who lived in the desert, goat herders, right? Sheep herders,
yeah,
goat
like how
herders in
we're
the desert,
explaining we're
illiterate
explaining
sheep herders
basically
in the
quantum
desert.
mechanics to goat
Yeah.
herders, kind of essentially. So I mean, that's why I feel using the Bible sometimes as super, super definitive proof is kind of hard, but especially since it's almost like it's subjective for them to make it understandable for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were super stumped by half of the shit that, they were saying in the Bible. They were completely it was unfathomable to them. And I feel like that's why it still gets everyone today.
Well,
'Cause
see-
it's still hard to understand today because it's subjective.
I hear that.
guess, but-
Now, if we go with what we said earlier about God being all-knowing, all-powerful, couldn't he have found a way to communicate this to people or give them the knowledge that they needed, or actually come down and actually taught them quantum mechanics? I mean, he could have done any of those things, but he didn't. And instead, it's a book filled with errors and contradictions. And well, here's one for you said, so Mr. Bad Gal, you're studying biology, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what chewing the cud is, right?
Cow chewing cud.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the process, right? So it's rumination, right? And essentially they regurgitate some of the food to keep chewing it because to get extra enzymes so they can digest it later, easier to digest, right? So we know that cows and camels, those type of animals, they chew cud, right? So Leviticus 11 verses 5 and 6. Why does it say in there that rabbits and rock badgers chew cud?
I'll be honest with you, I don't read the Bible. So
You don't read the Bible? You should. You should, my brother.
I personally don't. I don't know. I think the
He's still
Bible,
new.
the Bible
still new.
itself is it's people's like their explanation of what they see, but I think there's a lot of the stories in the Bible are just a lack of understanding of what's going on, and like it's their understanding of it, but I think it's could also be wrong.
This is the danger, because I've got a lot of people in my chat right now. I got 138 people on TikTok and let's see, 46 on YouTube. That and I'm sure a good number of them believe that 100% of the Bible is true. And if you guys keep watching, I'll run into one of these and I'll go over things that don't add up, that don't make sense, and they will do backflips and twist themselves into pretzels trying to justify it.
To be fair, I don't
yeah.
necessarily understand
Yeah.
the cud thing and the cloven hooves. And
Okay.
No, yeah,
What I was getting at is that it says in the Bible that rabbits chew cud, and that's demonstrably not true. Rabbits have never ever chewed cud. Then they never will chew cud. So if this God is all knowing and all powerful, why would he screw something up that easy that he on a creature he created? Like that's just that's just
I
silly.
think that people added a lot of stuff like that they wanted to be in there. That they were like, yeah, but we got to eat rabbits too, right? Like they're like, I don't.
That's part of
like,
Mosaic law. That was the whole
I
reason
really
they
do
said
think
not
that there's
to
an amount,
eat rabbits.
There are certain amounts of the Bible that people had their free reign on, and even if you look at like, for instance, Ethiopian Orthodoxy, right, or like Orthodox, a lot of different orthodoxies, but Ethiopian Orthodoxy specifically.
Yeah, keep talking. I got to start the
has-
kick poll. Go ahead.
It's
Keep
okay.
talking.
Ethiopian Orthodoxy specifically has, I believe, 5 books that are not included in our
Yeah.
regular.
One second.
standard
Sorry to
Bible.
interrupt. I got another
Okay.
super chat. So another one from David Kane for TRY 110. I'm not sure what country that is. Maybe you could tell us in the chat. Iris and fingerprints equals reincarnation. And not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Not sure what that means, but interesting nonetheless. I agree with you. Okay, keep going. Go ahead. So-
Yeah, like I think that where was I actually?
The
Is it
Orthodoxy.
Orthodoxy. Oh yeah,
Ethiopian or
Ethiopian Orthodoxy has I believe 5 books. I might be incorrect. I don't want to misspeak, but that are not included in the like full script of the Bible. I recommend to every Christian to actually go and read the closest to the like Orthodoxy. You can get some of the closest from Aramaic into translation into Latin, like Bible that you can get. And honestly, I don't think that any Christian really has it in them to try to go and do the research that it takes to be Orthodox, like, and to, really get into the nitty gritty of what they actually were saying. Like, we just go from translations that are like really into English, like the King James version. Like, what are we even reading that for? Like, I don't know. It's like, so I just feel like there's certain amounts that are either man-made, that people just put in there for their own belief systems back then, and there are things that I believe that
Keep
are
voting,
actually
everybody.
true.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Again, it's super subjective. I think that people should do their own. Like, critical thinking is literally dying as we speak. Like, people are not
without a doubt, it is.
not doing critical thinking. They are not doing their own research. They're not even taking the time
100%.
with God on their own, like separate from the Bible. Like I don't read the Bible as much as I should, and I've been getting into it and really trying to get some understanding. I always feel like I find the right page and I always find the right scriptures and stuff like that, right? But a lot of theologians and people I find like who are like reading the Bible 24/7 literally do not take any type of interpretation into this stuff. Like, they do not, like, they don't even try to understand what it could mean. They're just like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And so that is very dangerous and very like, it's an issue. And even I could work a little bit better on reading my Bible and being a little bit more knowledgeable. Like, I'm probably the worst person that could have came on here with as far as being able to like 100% prove anything. But I mean, yeah, again, for people in someone said Psalm psychology. Psalms are actually super amazing.
Yeah.
But
Well, hey, listen, guys.
Yeah,
The Y2 voted 6-3 to keep you, but then TikTok voted 12-2 to kick you. So if we combine the two, looks like you lost but narrowly. But so we're gonna
no
move on to the
worries,
next
no
guest. But
worries.
it was a good
Next
good talk
guest.
though. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, but
good job with what you're doing. I still
thanks.
appreciate that you're even, allowing these conversations to happen, even if you're getting a bunch of jerks in here sometimes. I appreciate that. And again, I hope that you find your message. Me and Mr. Bad Gal, we hope that you find your sign and your truth. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. It was a pleasure talking to you both, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
No worries.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Take care. So, enjoyable conversation, but that's an interesting thing. If you're an atheist, you have to know when it all started. No, you don't. Atheism is simply not believing in the existence of any gods. We don't have to know when it all started. And by that logic, Robert, then you can't be a Christian or a believer in God because you don't know when it all started. You weren't there. So no, we don't need to know any of that. We didn't need to know any of those answers. That's just like saying Turkish lira. Okay, thank you. So got a bunch in Turkish lira. That's pretty awesome. Appreciate that, David Kane. No, that doesn't fly. So let's go to the next guest. Bunch who are waiting in TikTok. So, that's a long line of people. All right, let's talk to Adri. How's it going? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing well. How old are you and what are your pronouns?
I am 22 and I am a woman, so I go by he, she. She,
her. Okay, fantastic. All right.
her, yeah.
And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I believe in Jesus Christ, the God in the Bible.
All right. And what is your best evidence that this God is real?
Okay, I believe that God is real because of what the Bible says. And the Bible is the oldest book that has been passed down generations from generations.
That's not true.
It doesn't have the same.
The Bhagavad Gita is older.
It doesn't have the same exact. It doesn't say the exact same thing, but it has the same message.
Okay, the Bhagavad Gita is older than the Bible, and the Vedas are older than the Bible.
How do you know that?
We just know because we.
Oh, okay. You just know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know because we have historical evidence that it is. So, the Bible. Now, if you believe when Moses wrote it, which we don't have any evidence of, that's around 1400 BCE.
But we really doesn't have evidence of
the Bhagavad
anything.
Gita was
Everything
written about 500
PG.
years before that.
But
Well, again,
you
I
said
have
what?
I have evidence that my mom's alive.
Yeah, because
It's not
she
just he,
birthed
she.
you.
Yeah. So it's
But how
not
did
just
she
he,
come
she.
about? How did everything come about? If
parents.
it's just exactly how did the parents get here? It's somebody created
parents.
something.
Yeah.
Something created something, right?
Well, the evidence that we have is abiogenesis. That's the evidence that we have of life coming from non-life. So what evidence do you have that God created everything?
Okay. It all but like okay, I'm gonna explain from the beginning. It's gonna answer your question eventually. What the Bible says, it all boils down to after Eve ate of the fruit. Everything before then, all it boils down to is good versus evil. That's
Good versus
period.
evil? Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying that so it's all about good versus evil, and so this is like a moral issue then. So God
Yes.
gives us morality?
We have free will, so whatever we chose to do with whatever we choose to do with that is whatever consequence or whatever is going to be in
Okay.
your life.
Okay. So let me ask you, is everything that God does and says good?
Yes,
Everything?
anything that isn't of God is evil.
Okay. Everything not of God is evil. So, okay. So is raping innocent women good?
No.
No, it's not? Okay. But then why would God command that?
He doesn't command that. He gives
He
us
doesn't?
free will. So he doesn't command that only because evil comes from the devil.
Okay.
And whatever you choose to do with your free will it doesn't mean, okay, God doesn't let, God is, he can easily make us believe in him. He can make anybody believe in him.
Is
but
grape evil?
It's a thing it's a thing called free will. So whatever we choose to do with free will is on us. Jesus has even been tested. So
Is grape evil?
yeah. Is what?
Is grape evil?
Yes.
It is? Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, have you read 2 Samuel chapter 12?
I can't go back and I can't go back and requote the scripture, but I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay. It's right above my head. So you should be able to see it right above my head. You see it?
Yes, I
Yeah,
see
we
it.
can read it. Okay, fantastic. We can read it together. So this is the story of David and Bathsheba, and I just got to tell you right now, this story is undefeated. So, but let's see how it goes. So, before we start, though, in your mind, what is consent?
Consent is basically you've been given the green light to do something. Basically,
Okay, like for example, if somebody touches you without your permission, do they have consent?
no.
Okay, fantastic. If somebody if somebody were to say take you and give you to somebody else, have you given consent?
No.
Fantastic. All right, so let's just read here. So it says here, so this is David and Bathsheba, and as you probably remember, Nathan was sent by God to talk to David and deliver the message from God, right, of what the judgment should be. And so this is where we start. So this is God talking to David through Nathan. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah, and it had been too little, I would have added as much more. Why have you despised the word of the Lord to do what is evil in his sight? You have struck down Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be your wife, and have killed him with the sword of the Ammonites. Now, therefore, the sword shall never depart from your house, for you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus says the Lord. So this is where it is. This is God's command. I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. So let me ask you this. Is it Audrey or Adri? How do you say your name? Adri. Can you read here in verse 11? Can you show me where, because you had said earlier, if somebody took you and gave you to somebody else, you have not given consent. So you would agree here that God taking the wives before David's eyes and giving them to his neighbor is not the wives consenting. You would agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they didn't consent. And so if that neighbor lies with his wives in broad daylight, that's a grape, isn't it? Because they didn't give consent.
It all, like I said, it all boils down to good and evil. God even sent the devil to test Jesus in the wilderness for 40 days, 40 nights without even
let's
eating
not
anything.
pivot. Let's talk about this verse here. I am aware of that, but you did say
Okay,
earlier
so
that everything that
you
God
would know
does is.
that he
But you
let
did say that
things
everything
happen
God knows
because we
is-
have free will.
Well, this
right?
is not letting something happen. It says, I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. Now,
So that happened because it was a consequence of something that he did.
Okay, so you're saying that if it's a consequence of what David did, it was good for the wives to get graped?
For you did it secretly, but I would do the thing before all Israel in broad daylight.
So it was good for the wives to get graped.
I'm not saying that it's good for the wives to get raped, but that's what the person that raped the person that raped her, that's what he chose to do with his free will. I'm not saying, and anybody that gets raped, I'm not saying it's because it was good for you to get raped.
If God took you and gave you to your neighbor, and your neighbor lied with you in broad daylight, did God do a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a purpose God does things for a reason. It's not anything that has been done is for a reason.
Let me ask again. Did you hear the answer? Did you hear my question? What was my question?
Ask it again.
My question was, if God took you and gave you to your neighbor, and your neighbor lied with you in broad daylight, did God do a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a reason for it. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. He does everything for a reason.
Sure.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Okay. But was it a good thing or a bad thing that God did? If God did that to you,
anything that isn't of God is evil. It all boils down to good and evil.
So what you're saying is that this was good because this was of God. God gave you to your neighbor, and then your neighbor lay with you in broad daylight. So if God gave you to the neighbor, that was of God. So you're saying that that was good.
But what did he do for God to punish him?
Wow.
This
is wild.
You have it isn't wild. It's like you're just trying to prove a point and not. It's like you're trying to prove a point and not really listening.
Oh,
you're
I'm
not
listening to you.
You're trying to get people up here to just sit, ask them things and not listen.
Okay, but what I'm trying to understand, because you said in the beginning that that grape is not good. Okay, here's a clear instance of God commanding the grape of wives who had nothing to do with this, right? These are David's wives. Did they go with Bathsheba? No. Did they kill Uriah? No. They had nothing to do with this. So are you saying it's okay for God to have innocent people graped to punish another person? Are you saying that? That's okay?
He punished people for a reason.
Yeah.
If they didn't do anything, he punished and test people for a reason. If they didn't do anything, then I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have happened.
So what you're saying then is it's okay to punish somebody for somebody else's sin, because they must have done something, so we should just punish them anyway, even though this other person committed the sin. You're saying that's okay.
You reap what you sow. Like as somebody said, you reap what you sow.
That's morally good. So what you're saying then is if somebody in your family committed a crime, let's say they unalived somebody, it would be the right thing to do to punish you.
No,
because you did something wrong. I mean, you did something. So you've done something. You're not
Everybody
perfect.
did something. No one is perfect. But
yeah,
Jesus.
Nobody's perfect. So you're saying it's appropriate to punish you if somebody else in your family unalives somebody. It's okay to do that.
No, it's okay to punish the person that did it.
If it's okay to punish the person that did it,
then that's just something that he's testing me to do, me to see
if it's
what
okay
I would do in the outcome.
So if you should only punish the person that did it, then is it right that the wives got punished for David's sin?
I mean, it's all a test of faith.
That's not what I asked.
Got everything taken away from him.
Adrian,
did Job do anything for him to get everything taken away from him?
Yeah, and that was horrifically immoral. So what I'm asking you is it the right thing to do morally to punish somebody for somebody else's sin? You're still not answering that question. Is it right? Yes or no?
If they did something, yes.
If they did something. Okay, so can you point out to me what the wives did here? What did the wives do?
Go up and read the whole thing. Can we reread the whole thing instead of
we can read
just
the whole
picking
thing.
one
It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. We can read the whole thing, yeah. So the Lord sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said to him, there are two men in a certain city, the one rich and the one poor. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing but one little lamb, and he had bought one little ewe lamb that he had bought. He brought it up and grew up with him, with his children. He used to eat the meager fare and drink from the cup and lie in his bosom, and it was like a daughter to him. Now there came a traveler to the rich man, and he was loath to take one of his flock or herd to prepare for the wayfarer who had come to him. And he took the poor man's lamb and prepared that for the guest who had come to him. Then David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. He said to Nathan, as the Lord lives, the man who has done this deserves to die. He shall restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing and because he had no pity. Nathan then said to David, you are the man. Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel. I anointed you king over Israel, and I rescued you from the hand of Saul. So, and then we've already read the rest of this. So we've read all of this. So what tells you there that it was right to punish the wives for what David did?
David is okay. The man is supposed to lead the woman the right way. Like the man has the final say so over the woman.
Got it. So what you're saying is, what you're saying then is if your husband cheats on you, and then unalives his lover's husband, then it's appropriate to have you graped to punish your husband. Is that what you're saying? Because your husband is the leader of the house and he's supposed to set the example for you. So that would be appropriate to do, to have you graped.
No.
No. Okay. So
That's-
then why?
that's-
Okay. Then why is it okay for these wives to be graped for David cheating on them and then unaliving his lover's husband? Why is that okay? Cognitive
Like I
dissonance.
said.
There it is.
It all comes down to good and evil and what you do with what you're tested with. I'm not
Okay.
saying everything that you're tested with will be right, but it's all of what you do on what you're tested with. Period.
Did God do the right thing or the wrong thing here?
If God did it, then it's right.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, we have hit structural collapse. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have time for you today. But hey, appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, because you're not
Wow. That will be clipped, everybody. Okay, it is especially a trip. Okay, I gotta commiserate with Hanji here.
Oh
That
my!
Was that insane
Zeus.
or was that not
Oh.
insane? That was insane.
Bayamoon, that was crazy. That was
That was
crazy.
that was insane.
Work.
That was insane. Yeah.
Holy
I'm telling you, David and Bathsheba, undefeated. Can't get past it. Cannot get past it.
Listen,
It's inexcusable.
I wanted to come up here, right? Like,
Oh,
my
you were trying to help a sister out.
gods.
Yeah, you were trying to help a sister
Yeah,
out.
I
but
was trying because I was
there was no help.
literally going to tell her, like, you know what I noticed, right? I use my gods as an example. How would you feel if Zeus allowed that to happen? You would think it wasn't right.
Yes,
You would think it
exactly.
was wrong. Now,
Exactly.
Zeus was not the perfect deity, but he didn't fucking touch kids or allow the shit that the God of the Bible does to happen.
Yeah.
But I digressed.
Yeah, it was that was wild. That was wild. Usually, when a woman comes up and I go through that, the wheels start turning, but it did there for a very brief second. You could hear the cognitive dissonance. The wheels were just clicking, but she just kept doubling and tripling down.
She didn't get it. Trust, she didn't get it. Like,
Didn't
you
get it.
literally just set yourself up. And using them as an example, still, they go ahead and they say, oh, no, that's wrong because, it's me. But because it isn't me, it's from people from a different nation.
Exactly.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah.
The Bible is literally fuck them kids. Like that's what
Pretty
it
much.
is.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, yep, David and Bathsheba, undefeated. Can't get past it. Can't get past it.
Yeesh.
Yep. And that's the thing. If this God is real, wouldn't worship it. Not in a million years. Would never worship this God. If this God is
Yeah.
real. But
And to the people berating the chat, first of all, don't spam the chat. Yes, I believe in the Greek and Egyptian gods. I'm a polytheist. I'm a Greco-Egyptian woman, but I follow the Greek and Egyptian pantheon. I believe all gods exist, including Yahweh's bitch ass, but he is not the deity that I follow.
the important part that Hanji does not do, Hanji does not vote to take people's rights away. That's the important thing Hanji does not do.
That
And
part.
so we cool with Hanji. We cool with Hanji. Just saying.
Like I get
And-
it all the time. Hanji, your gods are real. Oh no. Anyway, so I found this awesome statue.
So got no beef at all. Yeah. So yeah, I get along pretty famously with pantheists. I get along famously with them. So got no beef with them. Yeah, I got them in my Discord. I got some in my Discord, and it's funny because like a lot of the views line up. It just lines right up. So
Yeah, like
Got
we,
no
we
issues.
hold our, I think if Christians were to hold their deities, plural, because y'all don't know whether you worship Yahweh or Jesus, if they were to hold them accountable, they would be more tolerable. But they don't. What they
Yeah.
do is right and is justified. I'm sorry, but if one of my deities told me, hey, to show your love and your worship for me, I need you to off your kid. Okay, so you want me to beat your ass.
exactly. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
That part.
You want me to tell you to fuck off? Oh, okay. Well, I can do that. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, always a pleasure having you here. Well, you might as well just stay up since we're doing this.
I'm chilling like a villain.
All right. Well, let's bring up the next one. All right, let's go with Doob. How's it going?
Hey, hello.
Hi there. Okay, for TikTok purposes, are you at least 18, and what are your pronouns?
Yes, I'm at least 18, and just the normal ones for a man.
What are those?
I'm a man. Just
You're a
the
man.
normal ones.
Okay.
Like,
That's
yeah.
a gender. That's a gender. So what pronouns do you go? Because we have men that go by different pronouns. So what pronouns do you prefer?
Like the normal ones, the like he, him.
Normal ones. Okay. Well, normal ones can be he, him, they, them, they, them. So, but you prefer he, him? Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. And okay. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I believe in the God of the Quran.
The Quran? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Justice for Aisha. All right. What's your best evidence that God is real?
There are a lot of evidences, but I think because you said a lot of times that the universe has always been there, but that's not true. Because
and what's your evidence of that?
I mean, the scientists all over the world, they unanimously they agree that it has been that there is a starting point like 13.8 billion years ago.
Really? Then why did 68% of them say the opposite at the Copenhagen conference in 2024?
But it can be proven because they can see with the Hubble telescope that it's expanding. It's always expanding, and that is something.
But what is
observable.
why does that make the universe finite though?
No, it's not finite. It has a starting point, and it's always expanding.
Well, finite meaning it has a starting point. So why does it expanding demonstrate that it has a starting point?
Because this is observable with I think it was the Hubble law.
Okay, then why do astrophysicists disagree with you? 68% of them disagree with you.
I don't think the majority agree.
The majority agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And so again, that's not what they said at the 2024 Copenhagen gathering. So why is it that they said the opposite of what you're saying right now?
I don't know why they say the opposite. Like science changes all the time.
Science changes all the time. So they suddenly changed in the last year and a half?
No,
Suddenly
they
different?
like this is like a fact, and I don't know.
It's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Then, but again, why do they disagree with you if it's a fact?
If you're teacupped, we can't hear you, darling, unless
Yeah.
you got a phone call.
Yeah, just come back to us. If you're looking something up, that's chill, but just come back to TikTok. Or there you go. Welcome back. So yeah.
No, yeah, I just looked it up, like quick search on Google, like and it's indeed like 13.8 billion years ago. They discovered it with the Hubble's law, with like the Hubble telescope, because they can actually observe that it's expanding. And because it's expanding, it had to have like a singularity.
Okay.
And that was like what they call the Big Bang.
So this is the Copenhagen survey that was taken at the Copenhagen conference in 2024. This is what 68% of the astrophysicists there said. So let's go to that. And thanks to Ian for pointing this out. Okay. It has been claimed that the Big Bang represents the beginning of time, and this is a view now taken for granted. However, a challenge comes from Goethe, who claims that the Big Bang is a theory of the aftermath of the bang that says nothing about what banged, why it banged, or what happened before it banged. The very meaning of the term Big Bang is thus not agreed upon. Our survey results strongly favor Guth's view over Hawking's. The Big Bang makes no claim about whether time had a beginning or not and should be understood only as the theory that says the universe evolved from a hot, dense state, 68%. In that sense, it is perceived as a theory of what happened after the bang only. So it says here a theory that says the universe evolved from a hot, dense state that says nothing about whether there was an absolute beginning of time or not. So Why do they disagree with you?
I mean, I don't know how they disagree when it has already been established as a fact. Maybe just
Well, clearly they
like
didn't get
what
the
is
memo
proof
because
of?
clearly they don't agree with that. So I'm asking you, and I put the link there if you want to go read it, but I'm asking you, why do they disagree with you? You're saying it's an established fact, but that's 68% of astrophysicists who disagree with what you say is established fact. So why is that
I
the
think
case?
then it's just like one word against
why
the
does-
other word.
Okay, and why does the quantum eternity? Why do quantum physicists disagree with you? Why does the quantum eternity theorem state that the universe has always existed? Why does the Schrodinger equation of quantum mechanics imply that the universe has always existed? And that's since 1927.
Yeah, I just learned it like at school that there was like the Big Bang and
Mhm.
yeah, that the universe has a starting point like 30.8 billion years ago, which
It says at least
has
13.8 billion years ago. That's what it says. At least 13.8 billion years ago.
yeah, and it's something that because the universe is observable
And
and they can like
yeah.
with the technology they have now, like they
But
can
you,
see
you,
as,
but
as
you
a
did
matter
hear
of
that it
fact
said, well, you did hear
Yeah.
what it said. It said it evolved from a hot, dense state. So if it evolved from a hot, dense state, that means that the universe already existed. It just was in a different
yeah,
state.
that explosion. That's what
That's
the Big
not an
Bang is.
explosion.
That's
No, it's not an explosion. It's an expansion.
Yeah, the first it was a singularity. Like
Nope,
like
it was not a
all
singularity.
dense matter together.
They don't believe that anymore. They've demonstrated
But
that that's
how
not
how
true.
can
It's a
you
hot, dense
explain that
state.
it's expanding then? How
It's a
can you
hot, dense-
explain that?
What do,
How can
what
you
do,
explain that it's expanding?
because it evolved from a hot, dense state. Everything was in a very, very hot, dense state, and then it suddenly
Yes.
expanded, and that's because of dark
Yes.
energy. Yeah.
Yes, that's a singularity.
That's not a singularity. It's a hot, dense state. A singularity
If-
is
if it's
where
for
the
you a
math
hot,
starts to
dense
break
state,
down. Okay,
it's the
well,
same thing.
it's not the same
No?
thing. No, it's not the same thing. Go
How?
look it up.
How is this not the same thing?
Ugh.
You just explained the Big Bang.
Okay, well, I'm not a physics professor, and this isn't a physics lesson, but we'll go singularity versus hot, dense state. So I'm doing a quick Google search here. A singularity is a theoretical point of infinite density in gravity where physical laws break down. A hot, dense state is a physically meaningful, extremely high energy and hot phase of primordial particle plasma that likely followed an inflationary period. So there's a difference between the two. So singularity it's a point of infinite density, and that's where all physical laws break down. So they have shown that that's not what happened at the start of the Big Bang, that it was a hot, dense state. Everything was just super, super compressed.
Well, I just also researched like did the universe has a starting point, and it sets to me like the first thing that came up it was that it has a starting point like 30.8 billion years ago.
Okay.
By the
Which physicist, like from the last 5 years, has said that the universe has a starting point?
I don't know.
Okay. So that's very, very old information. So this is pretty recent
But
stuff.
it's
But again,
established, old but established. no?
okay, you keep saying the same thing, and I just debunked that already. I already told you 68% of physicists don't agree with you.
Yeah, they
So it
just don't
can't-
agree, but they don't have an answer.
So you're
It's
saying
easy to disagree.
okay, they don't need to have an answer. They just don't agree with what you're saying. Just because they disagree doesn't mean that they need to have an answer.
But
And
if
I
it's an
told you
established fact,
it's not an established fact. I just told you that. It can't be an established fact if the very physicists who you're relying on to say it's an established fact disagree with you.
I like the physicist I rely on is the one who
Okay.
did it, like the Hubble's law in 1920.
1920. Okay, so you're relying on something from over 100 years ago.
Yes, we had the technology then. Why not?
Okay,
Like
so 100-year-old technology. So you would drive a car that's 100 years old?
no, but we can establish facts like
Okay.
that have been proven.
All right then.
Like,
But
if
hey,
a fact
but
is a fact, then
but
I
as
just-
long
you
as
just
but as long as
accept
the
it, no?
science that supports my position, that's perfectly fine. But I would never ever drive a 100-year-old car. That makes no sense,
And what
bro.
like okay,
It's
and what
nonsense.
if they said like in another 50 years that oh yeah, it was right. There was a Big Bang, and the
Then we'll
universe
change
is
our view.
expanding.
Then we'll change our view, but let's wait 50 years. But for now, nobody agrees with you.
I think a lot of people agree with me.
Okay, then name one. Name one current physicist who agrees with you, and who has a published paper that says that. Just find one.
Like I don't know any personal physicist but
Okay, well then this is dead in the water. Anything else?
yeah, you could also argue from like a point of justice, like
Justice?
yeah, or injustice, the
Doesn't
lack
even
of
go well.
justice.
All right. Okay. And what is justice in your world?
Like I don't think there is absolute justice in this
Mhm.
world because of the things you see, like all the pain and grief that's happening, the
Yeah.
wars that's been happening, and like the people getting away with it. Like for example, now if you can see what's happening in Gaza,
Mm-hmm.
like how like Netanyahu is getting away with this, like
Oh, I
an
agree with that.
actual
Yeah, I totally agree with
genocide
that.
going on, and
But we
like,
can't go too far into that because my live will get shut down. So unfortunately, I 100% agree with you with where you're
Yeah.
about to go. Totally agree, but we can't talk about that because my live will get shut down. So
yeah,
we gotta
I will just get to the point and like
but you're circling around, and that piece I definitely agree. It's totally unjust what's going on there. Totally fucked up. I'm with you 100%. Now, but
Yeah.
as far as justice goes, would you agree or disagree that would it be unjust to let someone who hurts little kids get away with it?
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, right?
No.
Okay. And so, do you agree or disagree that Allah commanded Muhammad to marry Aisha at 6?
No.
No, you don't agree?
No.
Okay. Is the hadith that says that, is that false? Bukhari 53:14?
I believe he has married her, but there is like principles in Islam.
Yeah.
Like the harm principle. You can't harm anyone physically, psychologically, and like we don't have like an age for marriage, but the principle is that if you are if you're an adult, you can get married, and if you're capable for it, like
Okay. Are you saying that a 6-year-old could be capable of marrying a 50-year-old man?
No, like the father, like her father is the guardian. Like he decides at the end of the day, like if she's physically and psychologically capable of doing that. And like at that time, like children were way more adult, like sooner.
So what characteristics makes a 6-year-old ready for marriage? What characteristics would the 6-year-old need to have to be ready to marry a 50-year-old man?
Like she has
Y'all know
to
what to
be
do.
like.
Oh, just talking to my chat.
Yeah. She has to give. She also has to be willing. She has to give consent.
She has to be willing. She has to give consent. So a 6-year-old can give consent?
Well, that's why there is the father, like the guardian, to help in this process. And she was just married at that time. Like she wasn't. The marriage was not consumed.
Yeah. But according to this, it was consummated. To Bukhari 53:14, it says it was consummated at age 9. So that's better. It's okay for a 50-year-old man to consummate a marriage with a 9-year-old.
Well, the age of like when you become a woman, then you when you're how do you say it, when you get your periods, like for us that's when you're not a child anymore and you become a woman.
Okay. So what you're saying is that when a little girl has her first monthly, then she's a woman and she's ready for marriage. She's ready to consummate.
Like physically she is ready, because that's what the period means. Like physically she is ready, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's like mentally ready, you know.
Yeah.
But
So what would make her mentally ready at 9 years old to marry a 50-year-old man?
like, yeah, you can see how she how, like, I'm not talking about her specifically, but like in general, like if she has like the right mentality, how do I say it, like if she has like she conducts like an adult, she can carry herself, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. I'm sorry, I explained this very bad.
Yeah,
English is not my-
I'm trying to specifically get like what type of, like, what is an example of a mentality that you need to have as a 9-year-old to marry a 50-year-old man? Like what right, yeah, what would make you right mentally to, as a 9-year-old, to marry a 50-year-old man, 9-year-old girl?
Yeah, like I said, like they become like an adult way sooner because they live in hard conditions.
Okay.
Like you are
So
thinking about
some
6
type
years.
some type of suffering, and then they grow up fast.
Like you are still thinking about like 6 years old or 9-year-olds or like kids from this day.
Yeah.
But you can't compare that to people who lived like 1,400 years ago, like with no, yeah, you know.
In a way we can, because we know it's wrong. Like there, even in the hadiths, she was written as playing with dolls when
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came into the picture to play with them with her. So he
Yeah.
was well aware she was a child.
Yeah. So is playing with
Yeah.
dolls, is that an example of a 9-year-old being ready to marry a 50-year-old man?
Well, she can still have like traits of like being a child, but
How many adult women do you know play with dolls?
like my girlfriend, she is 19. She still plays with it.
She still plays with dolls? Okay.
Yes.
All right. But she's 19,
Like-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 19. But she's your girlfriend. She's not your wife.
No, she's my wife. She's my wife.
Oh, she's your wife. Okay. And how old did you say you were?
I'm 30.
30.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Since this like last year in
Last year?
February.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. And
Thanks.
how long did you date her before marrying her?
It was not a long process, like just it was very fast, like 2 weeks, you know.
2
It was very
weeks.
fast. We don't play around with the ball,
Hey,
like play
must be
around.
love. Yeah. I guess if it's love, yeah.
Like it has been hard. Like we had like after
Yeah.
the marriage, we have like some discussions and stuff.
Yeah.
But we like if you go through with them, like the tribulations and stuff, like now I love her. I love her even more, and she loves me.
Oh, that's good to hear.
also more.
Now, if she wasn't 19, would you still marry her? Would you still have married her? Like if she was, say, I don't know, 12?
Well, if she was 12, like I don't know how she would be if she was 12, but I think she would still be a little kid, you know.
She
Like,
would still
has
be a little
nothing-
kid.
She
Okay.
she would not probably. I didn't know her when she was 12, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But I think she was not like no, mentally ready to get engaged, you know.
Okay. She wasn't mentally ready. Is there a possibility
Wait,
that
were
she
you
would?
guys arranged?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. And was there a possibility that she would be ready?
I could ask her, but I didn't know her at that time.
Okay. So I guess kind of going back, because you said that it's different today. Women today, or girls today, are different than girls back when Muhammad married Aisha. And so what exactly makes them different then versus today? Because people go through hard times here now. You know, we have, like you were just bringing up, the whole thing over in the Middle East with we have to call them the watermelon people, begins with the P, because they're the same color as like watermelon.
Are you the
And
watermelon people?
the watermelon people, yeah. And yes, atrocities going on over there, horrible things happening to them. Now, are you saying then that but I think they're having atrocities happen to them in it's comparable to what happened to little girls back in Muhammad's time. So are you saying that they would be marriage material at 9 years old?
Like if you live in hard conditions, you age sooner. That's also a fact. But also the thing that you seem to forget is women today, they also like get their periods like from 9 to 14 years old. And
Well, we have
like when
evidence that
I
they're
was
getting
at
them
school,
earlier, though. We have evidence that they're getting them earlier
yes,
than
and
they
from
did
that time,
in previous generations. Yeah, because of
when they
like
get,
different things in the environment, like different foods and things of that sort. So,
yes,
so that
yes.
makes them
So
marriage ready.
no, what I'm trying to say is that when that happens to women, they start also to have longing for men, like sexual longings. And this is what happens also in the West. Like when I was at school, like even preschool, like when I was like 10 years old, like we played games like Truth or Dare and like trying to want to kiss each other, like to have like relationship. Even at that age, it already happens. And like when I was 14, like there was also a girl who came to me who was also 14, who wanted
Okay.
to do more. And this is something that happens like everywhere. Like, but you like in the West, they do it and before marriage, like not in a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like young girls and men, like they try to do experiments. They have like to feel each other. You know, this happens. This is a reality.
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to understand then by what you're saying, if a young girl has her first monthly and then has romantic feelings for, that develop, then it's okay for a 50-year-old man to marry them.
Well, if they don't get married, they will do it anyways behind the back of their parents, and it is
Behind the
something
back
that
of their
happens.
parents. Yeah, it's something that
Yeah,
happens.
have intercourse. Don't
yeah.
do you deny this?
Yeah. I would
Don't you
say
think this happens at school?
it happens, but not every girl does that. You're
Like
saying
a
every girl
lot,
would do that?
like
And so it's better.
no,
So
of course
instead
not
of
every
that
girl.
happening, so what you're saying is instead of this girl, having intercourse on her own, to marry her off to a 50-year-old man.
I'm not saying 50. Like I'm not saying 50-year-old. Like she could marry some like another guy, but the thing is that then it's in a safe environment, like in a family environment, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if they fuck around like without protection and then they switch partners, that's not like the way to go.
Yeah. And see, the thing is we do have evidence that that these type of situations in which like young girls are forced to marry, they're forced into relationships, it actually is extremely traumatic. Extremely. But this is somebody who was in chat. Hi, whole RN. You said you're a former Muslim?
Yes, and
Okay.
honestly, what he's saying is disgusting. We should never excuse pedophilia. My grandmother got married at 9. Her mom got married at 10. My aunt got married at 11. These girls did not get their period before they got married. We should never excuse pedophilia. The prophet had multiple wives, had multiple concubines. People were giving them their kids. You should look at that as a disgusting act and not something that we should repeat.
Now, let me ask you a question. And yeah, and thank you for sharing that. But as far as what was the effect on your mother, your grandmother, and your aunt for marrying?
Oh,
So
they're awful. I mean, you can't talk to them without them crying about it. They got married to 40 and 50-year-old men and they were raped. This was not consensual. My grandmother told me she took home her doll because she was so scared of going home with that man, my grandfather. I mean,
I'm
she
sorry
cries
that
about
happened
it.
to
No,
you.
no, no. She cries about it all the time. And this is not, they're not the only ones. This is happening all the time. And it's happened during Prophet Muhammad's time too. So you should recognize that that is disgusting. These are little girls who don't even know what they're doing, don't have access to school. That's disgusting, sir. Period.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry this happened to you. I really
It's
am.
not,
But
no, it didn't
this is
happen
not
to
the
me.
Islamic way.
Mm-mm.
This
It
is
will
not the
never
Islamic
ever
way.
happen to me. It will never ever happen to me or anyone I love. This is happening to other people.
And this is pretty clear that this has affected you as well. I mean, it
Oh,
hasn't.
of
It doesn't sound
course.
like it hasn't happened to you, but you seem pretty shook by it.
Oh, of
mean,
course. Hearing my grandmother cry every time she brings up her wedding night, sir, they are children. Doesn't matter what they think they want. It's non-consensual. They're children. He
Yeah,
raped
but
children. He raped children.
then
And
they are
you
not
shouldn't
Muslim.
idolize him for that.
They are not Muslim because, like I said at the beginning, there are harm
No,
principles.
no,
You
they're
cannot
Muslim.
harm a
They're
girl
Muslim.
either
They're Muslim.
physically or
They're
but
Muslim.
they may be Muslims, but they're not practicing their religion.
They're Muslims. They're diehard Muslims.
So-
You can only see their eyes. They are Muslims.
Well, then
Yeah, they
wouldn't that?
may say they're Muslims, but they're not Muslim in action. That's what
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you.
So
They
let me
go to mosque and fast, sir. They say the same prayer you say. They are Muslim.
let me ask you a question, dude. Do you have any children yet?
No.
Any cousins or nieces that are girls, little girls?
Yes.
Okay. And would if they were to marry a 50-year-old man, would you go to the wedding?
Like that would have to be like that would be weird like now because yeah, we're not talking about the prophet like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the greatest man.
Okay. So you would agree then that Allah is unchanging, right? Did his morals change through eternally
No.
at any time? So his morals never changed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it okay? So if that's the case, because you said it would be weird now to see like one of your cousins or your nieces get married to a 50-year-old man.
Well, the thing is that you can't compare like a 50-year-old average man today to the prophet because he was the greatest man that
If I
ever
can
lived.
say something, they say it's okay because the prophet said it, sir. That's
Yeah,
why
but
they're
then-
justifying it because it happened to the prophet.
That then they don't know their religion. They don't
So they don't
know,
follow the
like,
prophet. So it's okay
Yes.
to not follow the prophet then.
like you follow the prophet like
But the prophet did that. He had sex with 9-year-old,
we don't need
10-year-old
Ems.
girls, and multiple
good.
of them. So it's okay.
But Ems wants to come in, and it's cool. I'm sorry, I'm talking to chat. Go ahead. You two go. You two keep going. Yeah.
So no, he's saying that the prophet is the greatest. So you
Queen's
should
got
follow the
this.
prophet and marry a 9-year-old girl and have 20, 30 concubines and multiple wives. That's okay? Because
Like
the
the-
prophet did it?
the prophet obviously he was you cannot compare the prophet with ordinary people.
But he was an ordinary person at the time. Islam was not built in a day. He was alive for 60 years. He normalized it. He became a martyr for it.
No, he didn't normalize anything.
He
Yeah,
did.
he did.
He did.
No,
He
because
did.
if you
He
see
had
like
sex with children. He did.
that, no, like
he
his first
normalized.
wife.
He normalized
first wife-
slavery.
his
You
fir-
are allowed
no.
to have slaves in Islam.
You are not allowed to have slaves.
Yes,
Where
you- yes,
show
you are.
me in
Yes,
the
you are.
Quran
Yes,
or
you
in the
are,
Sunnah
actually.
Yes,
where
you
it is
are.
allowed to have
You
slaves.
don't
Then-
know your own religion, sir.
I know it.
They tell
you
you
are-
how to beat them. They tell you how to not give them money when you die. There's a rule book on
Nope,
how to
nope.
treat your slave.
Nope. You give me evidence for
It's
that.
literally in the
because you are-
surah. I'll grab it.
Okay, thank you. I was about to grab it. Yeah, you can have slaves, and it's okay to beat them. It's okay to rape them. It literally
Nope.
says that in the book you're supposed to read. You are not
Then
reading
show
your
me the
own book.
evidence. Show me the evidence.
if we show you the evidence, will that change your mind that pedophilia and slavery are not something that you should look up to?
I don't look up to this. You are misrepresenting Islam.
I'm really not. I'm trying to tell you that it's all in the book you're supposed to read. Obviously, you have not read it, sir.
It's not in there.
No, you read the Quran?
I have read it, yes.
All of it?
I have read it, all of it, once in English.
Okay, then you should know that it is in the Quran. Yes, 100%.
No,
Unfortunately,
it's
in the
not
Quran.
evidence.
It's in the Bible. They tell you. It's all been plagiarized. They
I don't
tell
agree
you
with the
step
Bible.
by step
I
how
don't
to
stand
keep
by
a
the
slave.
Bible.
No, it tells you in the Quran too. That's what I'm
No.
trying to tell you. It's in
Give
the
me
Quran.
evidence then. You are telling this, but you don't give evidence.
Yes, we'll give you
Here,
the
I found
evidence, but
one.
I'm telling you, you're okay to rape and beat your slaves, and
Surah
and God told
424?
you it's okay.
I got two. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
Also
gonna
forbidden
pull
are
up a
married
screenshot.
women. Yeah. Except female captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment to you. Lawful to you are all beyond these, as long as you seek them with your wealth in a legal marriage, not in fornication. So, female captives in your possession. You can't.
That's a slave.
That would
that's a
be.
slave.
Wouldn't that be a slave?
No, these are captives of war. These are not slaves.
They're slaves.
No, they are captives of war. They are
They're captives of war.
when there is a war, and you have like survivors of the war, female survivors. They are your like prisoners. They're not your slaves, and you have to treat them right. You have to give them food from what you eat. You have to give them clothes from what you are wearing. So if you wear Gucci, you have to give them Gucci clothes. You have to. And if they don't want to be captive, they can go to the judge for that.
This is
Okay.
a listing of where in the Quran it talks about slavery and having slaves and what
Yeah.
to do.
What are
This is a
bond women?
rundown.
Yeah. What is a bond woman?
It's probably a mistranslation as well. Like there's only
Mistranslation?
one kind of. It's called Malik al Yamin, I think.
You know
and
Arabic?
it's a little bit.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe this is the time to bring Ems in. I have a friend who knows Arabic who.
I'll grab him.
Yeah, you'll grab him. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can clear this up. So, okay. So what you're saying is bond woman is probably a mistranslation.
Like the only thing that I know that is there is like captive of wars. That's the only,
Okay. And so,
But
okay. So if you don't know Arabic, how do you know what it actually says?
you have translations in every language: English,
Yeah.
French.
Right. But you're saying that it's a mistranslation. So how do you know?
It's
Well, how do you
captive
know
of
it's a
wars? Like it's captive of wars. Yeah,
well, bond
that's
women.
it.
So bond women is not a captive of war.
What does bond woman even mean? I don't know that word.
Well, if a bond slave, a person who was they were bound, which means they were enslaved. That's what a bond woman is. It's an enslaved woman.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
you need to give me the whole verse.
Now you need the whole verse. Okay.
Yeah, you have to put everything in the context.
Of course. Yeah. Of course, we got to do context. Of course. So, but I'm asking you, what
But
else would
why
it
are we
be?
here?
What else would it
Aren't we
be?
here like to prove God? Like we are going into not the core of God. You're an
You
atheist.
asked for proof, and we're giving you the
Yeah,
proof.
but you asked, I'm an atheist. What's your best evidence?
Okay.
And then,
Well, we're
like, you
finishing
didn't
your
accept-
question. You asked whole RN for proof, and we're giving you the proof. So it says, yeah. So it says here, it talks about bond women in your possession. So you possess slaves, right? Slaves are property.
There are no slaves in Islam.
There are. Well, you keep saying that, but we're just bringing up
So
evidence
that's to
that
the
there
7th
is.
century Islamers who literally invaded all of the Mediterranean during the sub-Saharan slave trade and the Arabic slave trade that lasted 1400 years.
Well, let's.
Islam came to abolish slavery, actually.
No, they didn't. Clearly, you don't know
Well,
your research
we're-
because this happened in the 7th century.
Well,
No,
Haji,
but-
we're up for a
No,
vote,
I
but
think
go ahead
you
and keep
guys are
talking.
like
I'm gonna
not
bring up the
like
vote.
like have a sincere heart.
Oh, we have a sincere
I don't
heart.
have sincere heart for prophets that are pedophiles.
Or you're like you don't look go to the try to get the actual truth. Like your hearts are already closed.
Yeah, well, see, that's the funny thing. Christians tell me that all the time. So
Literally all the time.
You have,
They-
you have
they
to
tell
be
me that.
open.
They tell me that
like,
all
yeah,
the
okay.
time.
Like
So-
try to be open for the truth.
okay, so then that makes Christianity true, right? Because that's what Christians tell me all the time. That I have to be open. I have to have an open heart and seek the truth. I got to pray to God and all that other stuff.
If you have
keep
an
voting,
open heart,
everybody.
you wouldn't be
Votes are
breathing.
open,
You would be
everybody.
6 feet under.
So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
understand. What I'm trying to understand is because this is kind of part of the reason why I don't believe. I've read the Quran a couple times, all right, and yeah, and when I see bondwomen in possession, that says slave to me. I mean, I don't know what else that could be. It's not a war captive like you're trying to paint it. It's not a war captive. Bondwoman in possession is a slave.
What's the
So-
Arabic word for it?
Yeah.
What's the Arabic word?
Well, we're gonna have to wait another day. Maybe you can come back when Ems is here.
Obed, Abid, pick one. It's all over the Quran.
You know Arabic?
But listen, I do. I have to go though. I have to
fantastic.
go back to
We have
work.
one.
Have
Okay.
me up anytime you want to debate one of these guys.
Okay, you got it. You follow me, I will follow you, and we'll get you on the bat signal. Fantastic.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, darling. Be well.
All right. So, okay. Well, they voted to move on to another guest. So, hey, Doob, I appreciate you
Thanks
coming
for
up.
having me. Thanks for
All right.
having me. And
Have a good
I
day.
hope, yeah, good day.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
police be upon you. Moving on.
Okay. That was rough. Also, it will be it will be on my YouTube, so you can rewatch that whole thing in its entirety if you want to. But that was rough. Yeah.
He was
Um,
giving hadith denier anyways. They usually do.
Yeah.
The moment you bring up the passage, that's when they start
Oh, for sure.
tiptoeing.
Yeah. Yeah. They start doing it. But the whole, well, a 9-year-old could be ready for marriage. It just got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's
Got to be
never
kidding me.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just glad. You know what? If I'd known that she had known Arabic, I would have gotten into it a lot sooner. But that was rough. All right. And and that's what I'm saying is anytime a Muslim comes up, I'm just going to go straight to Aisha. Because conversation needs to not go further than that. It needs to go to Aisha.
And
Straight up.
justice for Aisha in the chat.
Hashtag justice for Aisha. Exactly. All right. So we got 2 guests waiting. So again, you must be at least 18, believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, and please have evidence that God is real. So we'll move on to the next person. How's it going?
Hello?
How you doing?
I'm well, sir. And yourself?
Doing well. How old are you and what are your pronouns?
I'm over 18 and I go by he, him. And then you can also call me Junior so you don't have to refer to me as username.
Okay, fantastic. Junior. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. And which God do you believe in?
In the God of the Bible.
All right. Okay, what's your best evidence that this God is real?
Okay. I'm not gonna go based off of the Bible because I feel like it's really hard to prove God's existence through the Bible, right? Because it's not really like so for me, the way I see that God is real is by the early persecution of Christians, right? The way I see it is so many Christians believe that Jesus Christ came onto this earth and that he died for our sins, he resurrected and ascended back into heaven, and they died for that.
Okay.
So for
fantastic.
me, that's like my core reason why,
All right.
like that's how I defend it.
Okay, so you have just proved Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Norse paganism, Wiccans, Druids. Let's see, what else? Sikh. The Sikh religion was persecuted. Yeah,
Hermetics.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mormons. Yeah. So you've just basically demonstrated that a bunch of religions are also true.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got me there. Can I ask you something? Can I ask
Sure.
you a question?
Yeah.
So how do you believe like this earth or this world we live in came to be?
This Earth, gravity. That's the evidence that we have. We have we have evidence that gravity pulled all the materials together to form this Earth, and the universe always existed. That's the
Okay.
evidence that we have.
Right. So like this evidence, it's just like passed down, right? It's just like history. Like we know stuff because it's been passed down.
Not in. not really. Scientific evidence, it goes, it's a much different process.
Right.
It's peer reviewed. And so when you say passed down, it's not in the same way that as like something that's told historically, or something like a story that's passed down, like the Bible was passed down or other holy books were passed down. It wasn't passed down in that manner. These were experiments that were done using the scientific method. They published papers going over the exact steps that they took to come to their findings, and then other scientists copied those steps, replicated those steps, and then got the same results. And then they said, okay, we got the same results, so we concur. So that's how theories work.
Okay. Would you say these scientific theories prove that there is no God just because we don't see the God?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Doesn't prove that there's no God. What I'm saying though is, because people always ask me, well, how do you think everything got here? Well, I'm just answering that question. I'm not saying it proves God doesn't exist. I'm just saying that's my evidence that's how everything got here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for me, the way I see it, I asked the priest, because I'm Catholic. I asked the priest, like, because I struggled with my faith a lot, and he told me, well, look, you can live your life two ways, either how Christ commanded it to be so, or like the worldly way, right? And it's either you go to heaven or you go to hell, and it's whether or not you want to take those chances. So I wouldn't say my belief in God is out of a pure love relationship, because I haven't achieved that, but it's more out of fear of God, knowing that there is a hell.
Fear that you're going to go to hell? You're afraid to go to hell? Now, is that really a belief then? I mean, is it, well, let me actually ask it this way, because there's kind of two different, there's a bit of a nuance here. One of them is the belief in the God, the belief in the God being real, or if you thought the God was real, but you didn't worship the God. You see the difference?
Yes.
So
yes.
is it you're not sure the God exists, but you just you believe in the God anyway because you're afraid to go to hell? Or
no. Sorry.
You have no doubt that a God exists, but you worship this one.
No, I believe that my God taught through Catholicism is the one and true God. Okay. I believe in it, but it's supposed to be a relationship between me and the Lord.
Okay.
And it's just, I don't have that relationship just because of my past, but I do fear him. And because of fear of going to hell, that's enough for me to like
worship.
What's the word I'm trying to find? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's different than believing the God is real. And that's the part we're really focused on, is whether or not this God is real. Because you would agree, if the God isn't real, then it doesn't matter how much you worship it if it's not real, right?
Right.
There you go. So that's the part we're really focused on, is whether or not this God is real. And so, and I hear what you're saying. I totally understand. And actually, that's actually a really honest answer. And I wish a lot more Christians would just honestly admit that, because I think probably, I would say 99% of the Christians I talk to are exactly thinking the same way you are. They're just afraid to go to hell. It's fear that keeps them there. But what I'm trying to understand is then how do you know this God is real? Like, what's your confidence level that this God is real? Like, if on a scale is 1 to 100, 100 being absolutely sure, no doubt.
I'm going to say 100% because I believe what the Bible says, right? I believe the Bible. If it's disproven, then my belief in God is not real, right? Like, that's how it works. But because I believe through that, I believe that God is real 100%.
Okay. So if God, so then you believe what the Bible says, that it says that God is real, right?
Yes.
Or that everything that God did in there is real. If there's anything in there that's not true or that's demonstrably false, then what would that do to your, like, and it may not even be related to God being real or existing, but just, it's just false. Would that move the needle for you at all?
No, because it wouldn't, right? Because I have this strong belief in him. I can't really like defend myself on that. It wouldn't change something for me. I'm just set on this.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I'm really not. Oh, looks like he dropped. All right.
Oh, did he? Oh, I was going to ask him a question. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like he dropped. Oh well. Oh, looks like he left by accident. Okay, well, here, come on back. I invited you back. He's in the chat. Okay. Looks like you
Sorry
hit the,
about that.
Oh yeah, no worries. You hit the button by accident. It's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
So
I do have a question though.
Uh-huh.
So you are afraid of this hell, whatever it is according to your
Hold on, give
scripture.
me one
right?
second. Sorry.
yeah, keep going, Hanji. I'll be right back. I just gotta adjust
yeah.
my seat. Yeah. So
No worries.
go ahead and take over.
All right, sorry, I apologize. I'm back.
So no, you're good. So with that question, right?
Mhm.
Would you be afraid of the Duat or Hades or the Muslim hell?
Sorry, I'm not really catching what you're trying to
So-
like ask me.
In other words, there are other belief systems that have other versions of the underworld, but the difference is that the underworld, everyone goes there. You get judged at the same time. It's not like one of those like good people go this way, bad people go this way. Everyone gets put in the same place, and then from there they decide whether you are fit to go into the place of heroes, of morally good people, what have you. So why are you afraid of this hell, but not the other understandings or
question.
differences of other different belief systems?
Okay. So for me, the way that I was taught about hell, it's that hell is being completely separated from God, from his grace, from his love. That's what
not
hell
what the
is.
Bible says, though. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's
Not
not what
in
the
the
Bible
slightest.
says.
I can't even say nothing of that because I haven't even looked into it. That's what I've been taught, right? I'm just going off of what I've been taught.
Okay.
I don't have anything to back it up as of right now.
Well, yeah, keep going. But yeah, keep going. So it's an eternal separation from God. Now, where did you get this? Like, who taught you this?
I went to a Catholic high school and a teacher told me this who studied theology. I should have asked him for like somewhere in the Bible, but I just listened to his word.
Okay. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's my notes. Okay. So I got a list of passages we could look at. Because now I'm not gonna lie, it does say something to the effect of that. That like something about separation, but when you say eternal separation, what exactly does that mean
That
in your estimation? Yeah. What exactly does that mean? Like, where do you go somewhere? Do you know?
Okay, so our bodies obviously they die, and our souls get judged by the way we lived. Either go heaven, purgatory, or hell.
Okay.
And you will stay there for eternity until Jesus comes back and destroys hell, and then it will be one big heaven.
Gotcha. Okay. So, let's look at Matthew 25 verse 41.
Okay.
Okay. So let me put that up on screen. Okay. So this is Jesus talking. Then he will say to those at his left hand, you who are accursed, depart from me into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. So this talks about eternal fire.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's not separation. That's eternal fire.
Right.
Okay.
So to my understanding, what I've been taught is that hell is described like that, right? In the Bible, it says it's like a burning sensation, like what we imagine hell to be from movies or like just what we intake, I guess, information that we intake. But the way I've been taught and what I've been told is that it's an internal separation from God.
Okay. Luke 16, verses 23 to 24. In Hades, where he was being tormented, he lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus by his side. He called out, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am in agony in these flames. So Hades refers to hell. That's what Hanji was saying. Yeah.
Right.
So he's in agony in these flames. That's not separation.
You want to know what's funny?
Dude's on fire.
Is that Hades, according to the Greek text, is the name of the ruler, which is Zeus's and Poseidonus' eldest brother, Hades or Hades. And he is the name of the ruler of the underworld. Like I said, everyone goes there. You are presented in front of 3 deities for judgment. And if you were a morally good person, you died during childbirth, you were a hero, all the good things, you would be sent to the Elysian fields. If you were a person who was morally gray, which is my area. I'm just experiencing this human existence. I would be in the asphodel fields, which is basically just kind of like the Greeks version of the field of reeds. But then you have the worst of the worst, the grapists, the smurderers, the child touchers. All of those, along with people who have done heinous crimes, would be sent to Tartarus. Tartarus is the deepest pit of Hades, which is where the titans and giants are located. And you would, and depending on your crime, your crime would fit with your punishment in Tartarus. Like this one king that we have a mythos of, he's on a spinning wheel that gets dipped into magma every turn. He regenerates back alive to be dipped into the boiling magma again. According to legend, he's still there. So you have an idea.
Yeah.
Your punishment was based on what you did when you were living.
Yeah. And so so now I think what your teachers were referring to, there is one passage in Thessalonians that talks about separation. And I know that's why people are really hanging their hat on this, because it says here, 2 Thessalonians, these will suffer the punishment of eternal destruction, separated from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his might. So I think that's what your teacher is referring to. Now, see, the problem with this, there's a problem with this. If you go to Psalm 139, verse 8, it says, if I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, which was like, it wasn't quite hell in the Hebrew terms, but it was like a Jewish, in the Hebrew Bible, it was like just like a place you went instead of heaven, right? If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. So see, the thing is that this totally contradicts this eternal separation idea. There can't be eternal separation. And especially if you believe that God is ever all present everywhere, then you can't be separated from God. So that just can't be true.
Okay. Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
To the one about the Psalms. Do you think it could be referring to purgatory?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because
I think
Sheol
purgatory
definitely
is more
isn't purgatory. Yeah.
Church father tradition. Yeah, Sheol just means the ground.
Yeah, it's like in the ground. Okay. Yeah, if I make my bed in the ground, you are there. So, but the whole point is that what this is saying is that God is everywhere. God is ever present. Doesn't matter where I go, you're there. That's what this is saying. So there can't be separation from God. The other part is, if you go to Revelation 14, verses 10 to 11, it says here, they will also drink the wine of God's wrath, poured unmixed into the cup of his anger, and they will be tormented with fire and sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So this says here that God is present for this torment. And the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. There is no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and its image, and for anyone who receives the brand of its name. So this says here, so this actually also goes against the whole eternal separation, because it says here the presence of the angels and the presence of the Lamb is right there. And the Lamb, we know who the Lamb is, right?
Right.
Yeah, Lamb is Jesus, and Jesus is God. So yeah, so there is a contradiction here. There cannot be an eternal separation, because you've got several verses that defy that.
Well, I mean, as of right now, I don't have the knowledge to respond to this correctly, right? So I can't tell you anything like about that. Like at this point, you have me stunned. Like I can't really defend myself right now.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
And yeah.
I mean, it's just good to like go back and read this. And I mean, I was a Catholic for a long time, so I know I hear you, man. But unfortunately, when I was in school, they taught me about hellfire. They said no certain terms, you're going to go to hell. They said maybe purgatory, and back then they taught limbo, and that's where babies went when they weren't baptized. So that's what babies went to limbo. But
yeah, I've heard
they'd say
that,
maybe purgatory, but if your sins aren't forgiven, you're going to hell and you're going to burn forever. That's what I was told. So I think they're what I'm understanding is that they're trying to advance this kinder, gentler brand of Christianity, because it's scaring people away from this eternal torment, eternal torture thing. So they're trying to sell this, kinder, gentler brand of Christianity. But if you think about it, that's kind of cruel too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
How very Dante's Inferno of them, which came later, by the way.
Yeah, came much later in the Middle Ages. Yeah, that's right. So that's our understanding of what hell is, actually. Yeah, it's from Dante's Inferno. But so you got anything else?
No, as of right now, I have nothing else. If you guys
All right.
would like to ask some questions, that's fine too. If not, I'll just held out.
Well, I think that's all we got.
All right, well, thank you for your
All right,
time.
Junior. Appreciate you coming up. Thanks for the
Thank
combo.
you.
All right, have a good
Of
one.
course. You as well. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if you were here.
Damn church fathers. I
Yeah,
swear.
I know, right? Right. I don't know if you were here for the first two conversations, Hanji, but like the last, no, first three actually. You were here for Adri. You were here for that one, but the two before
Yeah,
that
that
were,
was wild.
yeah, that was rough. And then it was actually two. The very first two, those were rough. The third one was okay. And then the fourth one was Adri, which you were here for. That was rough. And then, so now, yeah, the last two, well, actually the Muslim was pretty rough too. So
No,
it's
Muslim,
been a day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Muslim that was a wild one. Yeah. So,
But the
All
thing
right.
is that if it goes against Allah, they're not going to own up.
oh no, they're not going to own it. But the real wild ones are when the Muslim women come up and defend this. That's the,
Oh yeah,
That's the
like their
one.
Quran doesn't tell their men how to beat them, but not on the face because you still have to show your pretty face.
Yeah,
Unless
exactly.
you're wearing a
yeah,
form of hijab that keeps
Yeah.
you from
exactly. It's just
Yeah.
wild stuff. So
beat them gently.
exactly. Hey, Reckless.
Wow, what a day.
It's been a day. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, your friend from your Jesus freak friend didn't last very long.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He was scared, and then he went into my inbox and, was a total dipshit. So
Oh, you got fan mail. How about that?
I know.
I always
Yeah.
get fan mail.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta love
Just
fan
like-
mail.
Just like my dog. My dog gets fan mail all the fucking time. It's actually funny.
Hey, it's content. It's more content for you. So there you go. Well, let's bring up another one. We're gonna bring up Bo Duke. How's it going, Bo?
Oh, great. How about you guys?
Doing well. Yeah. So for TikTok purposes, are you at least 18?
Yes.
All right. And what pronouns do you prefer?
I go by he, him.
Fantastic. Okay. And which God do you believe in?
The God of the Bible.
All right. What's your best evidence that this God is real?
Can I counteract you on that?
Counteract me?
Can I ask you what your evidence against God is?
My evidence against God? Quantum mechanics.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't have too much of an education on that.
All right. So let's go back to yours. What's your evidence that God is real?
So my evidence on God is that everything that could have come together by simple chance. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be nervous here.
Oh, that's okay.
If anything was slightly off, the universe wouldn't have come together.
If everything's so like a version of the fine tuning argument? That's what it sounds like.
It's kind of if gravity was off by a little bit, a little bit less or a little bit more, then everything would just float out into space or crumple up into one big ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so are you saying, okay, so which is, yeah, there's some truth to that. If gravity was a little bit different, our Earth may not have formed. There's a lot of truth to that. I'm not sure how that demonstrates God, though.
Because how would something come together by simple chance like that without there being an intelligent being to create it all?
Oh, well, scientists don't believe everything came by chance. It came by like the laws of physics and, it was an inevitability. And I would say the chances are 1-to-1 because we are here now, so it happened. Now, but I see what you're saying. And so it's not just by chance, but you're saying that somebody intelligent had to be behind this. And what are okay, so what would it look like if it wasn't anyone intelligent behind this?
Well, I wouldn't know because there has, in my personal view, there is somebody.
Okay, so then how do you know then that it is somebody intelligent if you have nothing to compare it to?
Well, if you see a car on the street,
mm-hmm.
and you're looking at that car, do you think that it just came together by chance? Do you think all those pieces of metal decided that they should come together into that form? Or do you think that some intelligent life form decided that that's the way that it should work?
Clearly an intelligent life form And we have hallmarks of what that looks like because we've got alloys that don't appear in nature, right? So cars are made of metal alloys. You can't alloys aren't naturally occurring. You have to make those, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing though is that like trees, that still doesn't explain that a God exists because, the things that we see that occur in nature, we know for a fact that they're not made by anybody, right? Like we can't replicate creating a tree from scratch, right? And also with cars, you can get blueprints, you can go to the factory and watch a car being made. We have plenty of evidence to see that people make cars. So
Well, I feel like the Bible is plenty of evidence of God creating the world.
okay. So if the Bible is evidence of God creating the world, then it would fall along what we know scientifically would happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if there's things in there that aren't scientifically accurate, then does that mean that God didn't create the world?
What do you mean by that?
If there's scientific errors in the Bible, does that still mean that God created the world, or was God a dumbass, or what is that about? Because wouldn't the Bible line up?
To know what scientific mess ups there are.
Oh yeah, I've got about 20 of them, but we can go through them. But
what's
before
your
we do
favorite
that,
one? Pick that one.
well, before we do that, what does it mean if there's something that doesn't line up with science? What does that mean to you? If there's something in the Bible that doesn't line up to science,
Then to me it's a miracle.
to you it's a miracle. Okay.
That's what the New Testament is all about. Jesus performing miracles in different places.
Okay. Is it a miracle that the Earth is round?
I would say that is caused by gravity.
It's caused by gravity, right?
Gravity is the central force.
Okay, and you believe the Earth is round, right?
Yes.
Or a sphere. Okay. Why does it say in the Bible that the Earth is flat?
Where? I have my Bible on me right now.
Okay, so let's start. I'll bring it up. So let's start with Job 38, verses 4 through 6.
Okay.
Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? Or where its base is sunk, and who laid its cornerstone? So who stretched the line upon it? What were its bases sunk? Who laid its cornerstone? Indicating not a round earth. Job 38:14. It is changed like clay under the seal. It is dyed like a garment. Changed like clay under the seal. Let's see. What's a really good one? And it talks about the firmament. Talks about the firmament.
Book of Job is talking about a man who God was forced to test by the devil.
Mm-hmm.
To see how, I guess, how do I put it? I'm a little early in my journey with Jesus, and I just got into the book of Job. But I know that basically what was happening is that angels were meeting up, and then the devil showed up too. And he basically asked to test Job on his true faith in God. And one of the ways was that he took his kids or he took his house and he let fire rain upon it. So I believe that he's talking about the cornerstones of his house or the land that he lived on.
Okay. And what evidence do you have that that's true?
What do you mean?
How can we independently verify that's what God was talking about?
Because it says it in the Bible.
It says it in the Bible?
Yes.
Well, I said it points to a flat earth. You said it was like, I don't know, metaphorical, I guess. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you know it's metaphorical versus...
As a man, my world is my wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever God takes him away from me in order to test my faith for him, I would ask him what he's doing or why, where he was whenever he was putting those things in my life.
Uh-huh. Okay. And so, okay. So you're just simply saying, oh, it's just metaphorical. Got it. Okay. So if we go to Genesis 1, verses 6 through 8, is there a dome over the earth?
There's the atmosphere.
There's the atmosphere, but is it a dome?
Well, it's round and it goes around the Earth, right?
Right.
And it
Can we
stops- it
can we get
burns up
past it?
meteors.
Yeah, because like a dome, like
can.
you know, like there's a dome stadium, right?
Yeah.
Like could you like send a helicopter through a dome stadium? No, you would have to. There'd need to be an opening in the dome stadium, right? So there is a so there's not a dome over the Earth, right?
I wouldn't
Genesis
say that
1
a dome stadium and a dome around the Earth is exactly the same thing, because the dome around the Earth, or the atmosphere, burns up asteroids and stops them from coming onto Earth and certain things, and makes it so that way
So it's a different kind of dome. So words don't mean words. Because a dome is a
words
rounded
mean
vault
words,
forming.
It's just not at a solid aluminum steel dome
Okay.
that naturally can't.
Okay, so is the Oxford Language Dictionary wrong when it says a rounded vault forming the roof of a building or structure, typically with a circular base? That's what the definition of a dome is.
No, because the Earth isn't a building.
The Earth isn't a building, right? So what you're saying though is that, but it talks about a physical structure.
It's yeah.
Okay, so there's a physical structure around the Earth. There's a dome around the Earth, and you have to have a flat surface to have a dome because it's a half circle. It's a half sphere, I should say.
Well, I wouldn't say that a dome has to have. Did it say that in the Oxford Dictionary?
Yeah, the pictures I'm looking at all show domes, and they're all sitting on like flat surfaces.
Well,
It's a revolving, openable, hemispherical roof of an observatory. That's another example of a dome.
Okay.
It's hemispherical. So you're saying there's a hemispherical shape something over this Earth. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that there is a spherical dome. I'm
A
saying
spherical
that
dome. There's
Yeah.
not such thing as a spherical dome. It's not called that.
Well, then what's the atmosphere?
The atmosphere. It's not a dome. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Where did it say it's a dome again? I'm sorry.
It's in the Oxford Language Dictionary. If you just look
No,
it up.
in the Bible.
Genesis 1 verses 6 through 8. And hold that. Yeah. And while you go look that up real quick, I got something that flew by in the chat. So let me just go take a look at that real quick. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So we got a whole bunch of super chats. So let me get to those. Go ahead and read through that. Bo. Okay. So we got another one from David Kane. Bible is altered, in my opinion, by the same people who controls pharmacy, money, etc. Jesus is a prophet in the original Bible. Okay. David Kane, we people care about the death of dogs, cats, but not flies, etc. And we kill a fly without hesitation. Why? Because they are smaller. Okay. And Aries Girl 77, Aries Girl 77, welcome. Thank you for getting a membership as a supporter. Appreciate that. So, welcome to the club. All right. So yeah, did you read that, Bo?
Yeah.
In
So
Genesis
in
1?
my Bible, it doesn't. Genesis 1, you said verses 6 through 8, correct?
Yeah, I'm using the NRSVUE, which is like the closest to the original Hebrew.
Okay.
It's the
well,
scholarly
I'm using
edition.
the New King James. So.
Got it. Yeah. So
So I'm seeing firmament.
Firmament. Yeah, that's another word for dome.
Okay. Well, you could also say that a dome is supposed to be something protective, right?
Well, it's hemispherical, and it's usually on a flat surface. So it's like upside down. It's hemispherical, and it's on a flat surface, like a dome, like what you would see all around everywhere, right? A dome stadium, an observatory, things of that sort. Those are all domes. Oh, goodness, my chair just went. Hang on a sec.
That's all right. Well, I'd like to point out that you said usually it's hard to make a dome around something spherical without it being floating. Oh, he's not here yet. Whoops.
All right. Sorry about that.
All good.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out how you said a dome usually is hemispherical and on a flat surface. But it's hard to make a dome around something spherical unless it's floating like the Earth is.
That's right. So that's why I was asking you, is there a dome around the Earth? Because if it says there's a firmament or a dome around the Earth, then that's not true.
But the dome would be the atmosphere.
Okay. And again, if that means that the Earth has to be flat, because a dome is by definition hemispherical. Hemisphere, half of a circle. So is that true or not?
I would say that it's another metaphor.
It's another
If anything.
metaphor. Okay. So how do you determine what's metaphor and what's true?
Well, God likes to use metaphors a lot.
Sure. But how do you know if it's metaphor versus literal? So when it says here it's and what is this a metaphor for? Because if a dome is something that's hemispherical, if a dome is something hemispherical, then what is this a metaphor for?
You could also say that maybe it's not just for the Earth, but also the entirety of the universe. And at the time in Genesis, Earth was the only thing.
Okay. And are you leaning on your own understanding when doing this, or where are you getting this from?
I wouldn't say like self-taught. I've watched a lot of Cliff videos. I'm unsure of how to pronounce his last name because I'm real
Cliff
smart.
Connectly. Yeah.
Yeah. I watch him and a lot of debates he gets into. People bring up genocides or how certain things don't line up with what the Bible says. So I think that this dome could also represent the heavens.
Could also represent the heavens.
I'm sorry. the universe, or at that time Earth, could have been what was conceived to be flat. Not that the Earth was flat, but that the plane compared to heaven was.
Okay. So the plane compared to heaven. So you're saying that it's saying that the Earth is not flat, and now you're saying that the dome is the heavens?
I'm saying that's what it also could represent. I'm not God, so I'm not sure of what he meant.
Well, if you're not God, then how do you know?
Because
Then how
I
do you know?
trust him.
Okay, but how do you know it's, oh, well, yeah, sure. But, just because you trust something doesn't make it true, right?
I wouldn't say that either.
You wouldn't say that?
No.
People trust in things that aren't true all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, people trust in Islam, so Islam's true? Hinduism is true?
No.
Okay, so that doesn't make.
I was saying
so that doesn't make it
just because
true.
I trust something doesn't make it true. I'm saying that I believe in this something because there's evidence to me that makes it true.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like this is evidence, because this is talking about like scientific inaccuracies, right? But you're just saying, well, it's just a metaphor. Well, how do you know it's a metaphor? What's your evidence of that? And I'm not hearing a lot of evidence. Like, can you independently verify for me that it is indeed a metaphor?
I can't independently verify that.
Got it.
But
All
I
right.
can.
So
I
we
can say
can't do that. All right. All right. Let's go to the next one. Leviticus 11 verses 5 through 6. So you know what a rock badger is, right? Or it might be called a coney in the New King James, or a hyrax. Might be one of those two, but it's all the same.
I'm sorry. Would you explain that to me? I haven't read the entirety of the Bible yet.
So the Leviticus 11 verses 5 through 6. This is a rock badger is like this rodent type animal. It's not a rodent. It actually is closely related to whales, if I do recall, something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, looks like a rodent. But if you look up like conies or hyraxes on TikTok, you'll see all kinds of videos on them, and they're like cute in a very ugly way. But the thing is that it says here, the rock badger on verse 5, Leviticus 11 verse 5 says, the rock badger, even though it chews the cud, let me make sure it's showing correctly. Yeah, it is. The rock badger, even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoof. It is unclean for you. So, rock badgers, they don't chew cud. So why didn't God know that?
Why didn't God know?
Yeah, because God supposedly created this creature, right? So why didn't he know, if he created this creature, why didn't he know that it doesn't chew cud? Rock badgers never have chewed cud. They never will chew cud.
Could you repeat the verse again for me?
The rock badger, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoofs. It is unclean for you. Rock badgers don't chew cud.
I'm so sorry. I'm probably not the best to ask all these questions.
Well, you asked me to point out scientific inaccuracies to you. This is a scientific inaccuracy. Yeah. And the same, and if you go to verse 6, the hare or the rabbit, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hoofs, it is unclean for you. So we know for a fact rabbits do not chew cud. Never have, never will. So again, why didn't God know this?
Well, aren't they not supposed to chew cud?
They don't chew cud. They never have. They can't. They're unable to. They're literally unable to. Now, you know the process of chewing cud, right? Chewing cud is what cows do when they regurgitate. And they regurgitate a little bit of their food. They chew it a little longer, and then they swallow it back down. It helps with the digestion process. It's called rumination. And the Hebrew word for cud means to come up, which is literally the process in which cows vomit a little bit of their food in their mouths. So we know for a fact that hares do not chew cud because they cannot vomit. I had a Flemish giant. Flemish giant did not vomit. Ate something really bad, couldn't vomit. It had to pass through. And it chewed on like a little bit of my cord, and a piece of it got into its system, and it just had to pass through. It can't vomit. Rock badgers, we know, do not chew cud. Now, they make a little bit of a chewing motion. Both animals do. And so it's very possible that humans just mistook that for chewing cud. Hares, what they do is they do a process called cecotrophy, which is they will chew some of their feces for extra nutrients, but that is not chewing cud because that involves regurgitation, which neither of these animals do.
Okay.
So, yeah, again, why didn't God know that? God should have known that, right? He's all knowing. He created these animals. He had no idea these things don't chew cud.
I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time finding it, and I wish I could make your screen bigger so I could read it too.
Oh, here, I'll read it to you. Leviticus 11, verses 5 and 6.
11. Okay.
Yeah, Leviticus 11, verses 5 and 6.
You shall not eat among those that chew the cud, or those that have cloven hooves. The camel, because it chews the cud, does not have cloven hooves, is unclean to you. So I believe that in Leviticus it is actually, because Leviticus is known as the book of law in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's trying to say is that the animals, here's verse 2 of Leviticus 11. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are animals which you may eat among all the animals that are on earth, among the animals, whatever divides the hoof, having cloven hooves and chewing the cud, that you may eat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying that you can eat among them. You can eat of them.
Yeah, that doesn't answer the question of why God didn't know that rock badgers and hares don't chew cud. That doesn't answer the question.
I'm completely stumped.
Okay. All right. Do you want to hear more scientific inaccuracies, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Okay. Let's see. This is a good one. Actually, I'm going to use this one in a different way. Usually I use this to from a moral standpoint, but we can do it from a scientific standpoint. So, What percentage of women bleed the first time they have sex?
I'm pretty sure it's 100.
It's anywhere from 40 to 60%. Matter of fact, we have at least one person on this panel who
Testing.
admittedly, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there. Oh,
I was
oh.
saying bats.
Were your ears
Bats!
burning? Bats. Yeah, I don't even. It's funny because I could have done that one too, but I think I've made my point on the rabbits and the and the rock badger. But speaking of which, yeah. So I can tell you for a fact that it's anywhere from 40 to 60% of women do not bleed their first time that they have sex. So what we have here is a law concerning sexual relations. Is my screen big enough? Oh, wait, it's actually partially cut off where I want to be. There we go. So it says here, suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her, dislikes her and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her, and now he has made up charges against her. Oh, and by the way, this is Deuteronomy 22, verses 13 through 21, if you want to follow along.
Okay, yeah.
Here, I'll wait for you to get there.
You can just honestly read it again, and I'll do my best to let my ADHD not get the best of me.
Okay. The father of the young man shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in... Oh, I read that part. But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. That's partially cut off, so I gotta page down. They shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of that town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife. He shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. If, however, this charge is true, that evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, they shall then bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to death, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. So let me ask you, Bo, what evidence are they looking for on the cloth?
I'm unsure.
Blood. Mm-hmm. And that's how they know, because that's what they're assuming is that, like you did, is that all women bleed their first time. So that's what the cloth is for. And in fact, it's a ceremonial cloth, and they actually still use it today in Jewish weddings. Is they will they'll use that on the bride and groom's wedding night. And what it was meant for was to demonstrate that the woman was a virgin. And so they still do it ceremonially. It's just part of tradition in a lot of Jewish weddings today. But they did that out of necessity back then, because a woman's honor was constantly questioned. So if 40 to 60% of women don't bleed the first time they have sex, Bo, why didn't God know that?
Was it God or was it the people of the town?
Well, this is God's law. God gave this law. This is Deuteronomy 22. This is God talking. You shall not watch your neighbor's ox. So God gave all these laws to Moses to give to the people. And Moses wrote them down.
I think the law that he's talking about is going against prostitution and not selling your body for sex.
Okay.
I don't think that he didn't know that women don't bleed, or some women don't bleed their first time.
Okay.
But
so innocent women got stoned to death then? That's what it says in verse 20.
I'm gonna say it like it did the last guest, right?
Okay.
If I was born around that time, I would have been stoned to death, because I didn't bleed my first time.
Yeah.
And it's an issue because, excuse me, it's not just blood. Some women are born, well, girls, I'm going to put it to you like that because these were girls. Girls, some of them are born without the hymen.
Yep.
Some girls' hymens don't break. As a matter of fact, Ems, our ex-Muslim friend of ours, he told us a story of what happened in Egypt, where a man let his daughter bleed out to unalivement because the doctor had to break her hymen because she was bleeding eternally. And the father said that he didn't want his daughter to be disgraced. So he left the hymen intact. And unfortunately, she did lose her life because
So
of it.
we've had a large percentage of women who've lost their lives or who have been sterilized, like they have had to have hysterectomies or things like that because of infections, like or they've just been permanently damaged down there because of this stupid thing called a hymen. Like that was an indicator of whether or not a woman was a virgin.
And Aliyah is correct. During that time, a lot of women were the farmers, were walking around riding donkeys.
Oh yeah, and that's also where in the
riding
Bible.
a donkey
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's
You
elsewhere in the
can
Bible.
actually break your hymen that way, riding a horse,
Carrying
heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting. Yep.
Mhm.
Heavy lifting. And that happened, and it's very common. So that's what I'm asking you, Bo. It sounds like here God had no idea how hymens work, and he made them.
Okay. I again, I'm sorry. I'm early on this journey with God.
Yeah, you're
so, you know, I thought I knew a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I will gladly look more into these.
Okay.
Maybe on a later date.
Come on back. We can talk more. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I
All right.
I really appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day.
Yeah. Appreciate you too, Bo. Have a good day.
Yep.
All right.
One for honesty. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
one for
That's
honesty.
great.
Yeah. I mean, he did try to explain some away, but just wasn't quite working.
I think the evidence was like stacking and stacking and stacking.
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
just like, you know what? I'll get back to you on this. Okay.
I'm using Justin's sheet for this one, but there's like 20. There's a list of 20 of those on there. But yeah, W for the honesty. Yeah, give props for the guest for that. And he didn't run, so that was good. Yeah. Can you imagine believing in an all-knowing creator that doesn't know simple things about what they created? Yep, exactly. They should know this, right? It's like just simple stuff. So, totally agree. 100% agree.
And why make laws on hurting other people? That sounds so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like I was like, oh, usually this is like a moral thing, but today it's a scientific thing.
Hey, I had beef with those Malachias 400 years ago. I want you to take out their generation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not to mention, don't worry about the fact that none of them were alive back then, but just take them out now. Just don't worry about that. So, all right, we have Eden. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and especially like what some people will do for their deity. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, exactly. What, Aliyah? You wouldn't allow your child to unalive another one of your children? You wouldn't let that happen? Jeez. And you call yourself a good mother. I mean,
how heretic of you. How heretic.
I mean, you're not letting free will play out. You're thwarting free will. Like how, and that's the other thing. If free will is so like important and powerful, like it just gets thwarted all the time. Like free will just gets taken away, just on a lark, so easily. All right, we're gonna bring up a returning guest. It's Eden. How's it going, Eden?
Hello there.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you last time.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember what we talked about. I just remember your name. And could you just catch us up on what your beliefs are?
I think I'm a Muslim.
Ah, okay. You're a Muslim.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question is, what's your best evidence that God is real?
Yes.
And I did struggle with that for a long time. Even I was born a Muslim, but I didn't accept it like just a simple fact. So I would argue that the Quran made me believe that God is real, basically.
Okay, it made you believe that. And
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
what
yeah,
part of the
because
Quran
it
did
has
that?
like, well, there is a lot of how would you say it? Like, well, the Quran in Arabic is linguistically very, very accurate and extraordinary. Like,
Mhm.
it's beyond imaginary. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't understand it because you don't speak Arabic.
Nope, I don't. We have a friend
Yeah,
who
yeah, yeah,
does.
yeah. So
Think
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
as
yeah.
a song. It's basically a song.
yeah,
Well,
like a song. Yeah.
yeah, but
Hmm.
so
I mean, yeah, the best I can
I
do is
went,
just look
yeah,
at the
yeah.
English translation and just go from there. And yeah, quite
Yeah, yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really move me. If anything, it.
So you did read it before, you
Oh, I've
did.
read it twice. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What's your thoughts about it?
I think it's. I don't believe it. I just don't think it's very believable, and it is very much. There's just a lot there, and I think the biggest thing is that I have a problem with the God morally. That's like my biggest thing.
Example?
Well, for the biggest example is Allah commanding Muhammad, peace be upon him, to marry Aisha. That's a big problem for me.
There is no such a thing in the Quran.
There's no such thing. Yeah, it's not in the Quran. It's a hadith, but
Yeah, yeah,
you would
yeah, yeah.
agree.
We're talking about the Quran.
Yeah, we're talking about the Quran, but did that happen?
Yeah. Well, that's a different story. My argument is that the Quran is the proof that God does exist.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Mhm. And
We can talk about the Prophet and the Hadith in another day if you like. But
Okay.
I'm answering your question exactly.
that's fair. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
So,
The
so in
beating
that,
of wives.
yeah. So there's just other parts of it. Like for example, Earth was created
Beating
before
the wife.
stars. Yeah, beating of wives. Earth was created before stars. Things of that sort. Mountains were put upon.
Let's start
Muhammad
with
split the moon.
Yeah, Muhammad split the moon.
does it say Muhammad split the moon? No,
Um,
it doesn't.
I could grab it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we can
Ems,
probably go.
perfect.
Hey,
You're
Ems,
here.
how you doing? This is my friend Ems Eden. Do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ems is our friend who is a former Muslim and is very fluent in Arabic. And so it sounds like you're
Yeah.
fluent in Arabic as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Fantastic.
So the question is beating the wife.
There's that. I mean, we
Yeah.
listed a few things.
Yeah.
The allowing wives to be beaten, but we're talking about like
Would you like
now that
like an answer?
well, I will say, Eden, that doesn't necessarily mean that God doesn't exist, right? I'll concede that point
Yeah.
with you. However, if there's things in the Quran that just aren't like they don't line up with science, for example, those are the things that trouble me as to the existence of this God.
Okay. What's an example?
Let's see. Oh yeah, semen coming from the backbone, between the backbone and the ribs. That's not true. That's one. And the other one I said, stars being formed or Earth being formed before the stars. That's another one. We just know those are scientifically
Okay.
not true.
Okay. Does the Quran says that stars were created before Earth? Is it?
No, Earth before the stars.
Oh, Earth before the stars. Sorry.
Pero Ethan.
What's that?
Yeah.
Ethan. Where are you from?
I live in Dublin at the moment.
And we're from.
Originally Algerian. The Quran does not explicitly give a scientific timeline of the universe. Like, let me please. It doesn't specifically say that. Yeah.
I know it does.
Just tell me where to go, Ems.
What's his?
الفصيلات.
I don't know what he's saying.
In الفصيلات it does.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
In الفصيلات it does.
No idea.
I don't know the chapter الفصيلات. Have you read the Quran?
I'm coming to speak to trust but verify, but I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't understand this.
He's asking if you've read the Quran.
I'm sure you haven't.
Well, I did. I
don't think you have.
I did.
جميل, then you should know what فصيلات is.
Even I know what Zelat is, and I'm not
So
even
you don't know the name of a
practicing
chapter in the
Muslim.
Quran, but you've read the Quran.
What is Fusailat? What is it?
الفصيلات.
What is Al-Fusailat?
You haven't read the Quran then. It is, I think it is chapter 41, verse 9 to 11.
Fussilat.
الفصيلات حبيبي.
No, Fussilat. That's entirely different thing, what you were saying.
الفصيلات حبيبي.
Okay. Sorry, I need to go, but
I'm sure you do.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
okay. Bye-bye.
No, are you serious?
Wow. Ems just showing up. They're just like, I gotta go.
Brings up the Arabic, talks about how he reads it in the Arabic. Have a fluent Arabic speaker. I gotta go.
Anyways, thank you for the invite. I'm gonna drop.
Yeah, thank you,
All right,
Ems.
yalla
Appreciate you.
habibi. That's fucking great.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was.
You know, I get the same thing when the Greek is brought up too. so I
Oh yeah,
understand
that's
where he comes
right.
from.
That's right. I gotta pull you in when we're doing ancient Greek shit, because we get that from
Please
time to
do.
time. Yeah, I gotta do that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm there with you, Zach. I wanted to hear that too. I was ready, but
How did
yeah,
he not know about that specific surah in the Quran?
yeah, he hadn't read it. Wow, that was quick. I mean, yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I even let it go with the whole Aisha thing. He had a point. It was fair. He had a point. He had
those are the hadiths we're talking the Quran. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, just
Yeah. Fair point.
the
Okay.
character, but
We'll switch we'll switch to the Quran and send out the bat signal to Ems, and there it goes. Yeah. Just yeah. Wow. That was something. Oh goodness. Well, we have somebody in the queue. Okay, we have somebody. Oh, Eden is back. Well, Eden, we're gonna bring back Ems.
let's bring back Habibi, are you still in here? Request if you are.
Yeah, I don't know if he might have left entirely. But oh, yep, he's still here. All right. Welcome back, Eden.
Round two.
Hi, I didn't run, guys. He was saying al-Fusailat, which doesn't exist. There is Surah Fussilat, which is entirely different. But he kept saying it, and I was answering you for the question because I was typing the earth before the start, and he was like interrupting, and it made me a little bit edgy. So it was not running.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
Rabil, could you read verse 9 to 11?
9 through 11.
So
yeah.
Fussilat, not al-Fusailat, yeah?
Okay, I had it up.
Go ahead.
Fussilat.
Boom.
Fussilat. What verse?
Okay.
It is on the
Number?
screen. 9 to 11.
41, 9 to 11.
Number.
Okay.
9 to 12, actually.
9 to 12. Okay. hold on.
9 to 12.
And I'm
9
getting a little
to
bit better with these hyperlinks. There we go. Okay. So it says 9, ask them, O prophet, how can you disbelieve the one who created the earth in 2 days? And how can you set up equals with him? That is the Lord of all the worlds, of all worlds.
So,
He placed on the earth firm
What's
mountains.
the problem?
Oh, we're getting there. He placed on the earth firm mountain. He asked me to read the whole thing, so I'm going to do that real quick. He placed on the
Yeah,
earth
yeah,
firm mountains, standing high, showering his blessings upon it, and ordained all it means of sustenance, totaling 4 days exactly for all who ask. Then he turned towards heaven when it was still like smoke, saying to it and to the earth, submit willingly or unwillingly. They both responded, we submit willingly. And then 12, so we formed the heaven into 7 heavens in 2 days, assigning to each its mandate, and we adorned the lowest heaven with stars like lamps for beauty and for protection. That is the design of the Almighty, all-knowing. So the problem is, Eden, is in 11, it says that Allah to the earth submit willingly or unwillingly. And it says here that the earth submitted willingly. And then it says here in 12 that then he formed the heaven into 7 heavens, and then assigning to each its mandate, and we adorned the lowest heaven with stars like lamps for beauty and for protection. So
could
it
you
says here,
scroll up to 9?
yeah,
And then press on the tafsir.
the tafsir. Where is that again? Remind
It
me.
should be
The tafsir is not Quran.
Jamil. Then we're going to stick to the Quran. It
Yeah.
says again,
Ask
that
them, O
he has
prophet.
created the earth in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, he placed on it firm mountains. جميل. And then استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان فقال لها وللأرض ائتين طوعا أو كرها. جميل. So then he looked to the sky when it was just دخان. And then after that he made them into 7 heavens. So he made the earth first, and then he placed on the earth the mountains, and then he turned to the sky when it was just smoke, and then he divided it into 7 heavens. So the earth came before the heavens.
Yeah, the earth became for the heavens. So that to me is so Eden, we know for a fact that did not happen. Stars are older than the earth. Like many stars are older than the earth. Like the star in our solar system is older than the earth, our sun. So we know that's not true.
Okay, so basically, what is the first sky for you in this verse? What do you think it is?
السماء الدنيا.
Which is?
The universe.
That's the first sky.
The first 7.
So what's the problem with that? If it's all what you see in all the stars you see, it's the first heaven.
The division of the heavens happens after he has made the earth.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You are reading the tafsir. No. You are
No, I'm reading the Quran. Nope, I'm reading the Quran.
Listen, the Quran mentions the creation in stages: earth, mountains, sustains, heaven, completion of 7 heavens.
So you have the earth before the heavens.
Yeah. The days doesn't mean entirely 24 hours.
I do not care about the days.
necessarily.
Ya Habibi, I do not
Yeah.
care about the days.
Yeah.
I do not care about the
I'm
days.
saying-
We care about
I'm
the
saying
sequence.
It's not an exact. Yeah.
I do not care about the days.
Yeah. So what's your problem? Some modern interruptus sees us a resemblance of cosmology, for example. But what's the problem?
So the earth comes before the universe, and there's no problem.
Yeah, that's
The
wrong.
Quran mentions the Quran mentions the earth first, but this is
No,
mainly
it says no.
It's
ثم
theological, not a
جميل. No,
contradiction with science.
يا حبيبي. It mentions the sequence. He creates the earth ثم استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان. Then فقدهن 7 سماوات في يومين. So again, he makes the earth and then he turns to the heaven when it was.
Listen, Amas. The sequence shows stages of creation, emphasizing order. It doesn't say like it's sustained the divine command, not precise timing.
Oh, really? So ثم what does ثم mean?
Yeah, of course.
What does ثم mean?
It's and.
ثم means and.
Yeah.
Really? Which Mu'jam says that ثم means and?
You should read it yourself.
جميل. ثم استوى. ثم implies a temporal
has read it.
chain. ثم is a temporal chain.
Well, I'm reading it, and It means like stages and emphasize purpose, not exactly.
Jamil. So the word thumma, the word thumma does not imply a temporal chain.
What is implied? What are you saying?
So the word thumma does not imply a temporal chain.
You're just trying to find an error.
I know you're just stupid.
That is.
But we found an error, Eden. We found an error. That's the whole point. We found one.
You see, I respect you, the gentleman, but this man is insulting me.
Because you're not honest. You're insulting our intelligence when you say that thumma means that.
Yeah.
Like you're simply lying. And if you're gonna lie, then again I'm gonna insult you, yes.
So okay. If I'm debating or talking
You're
to
not debating.
you. Listen. I can't have a conversation with this man.
We're not having a conversation, again, you're lying. There is no conversation to be had when you're lying.
Sorry to the gentleman, and again, there is no way. See you guys.
All right.
And please be.
Okay. So,
but he's literally lying about a word that is very clear. Like, could you scroll down?
Yeah.
Just the next verse. The first word on the right.
This one?
He's saying that this means and.
Oh, no, it says
Since
then.
when does it mean and?
It says then.
It has never meant and. Ever.
Never meant and. Okay. Yeah. And it's highlight. Yeah, you hover over and it says then. So why would I say it means and? And
Because
you could also say that also implies sequence. When you say and he turned towards the heaven when it was like still like smoke. You're telling a story and you're telling it in sequence. You wouldn't tell it out of order.
And then when you scroll down one more verse, the first letter in this word,
then
it implies so.
So okay.
Then he turned to the heaven when it was smoke, so he ordained them into 7 heavens. So again, temporal chain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's trying to say that he's just listing out different things that have nothing to do with each other temporally.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make sense because, again, you wouldn't tell a story like this out of order. You would tell it in its order. You know, you would describe this in its order.
Especially when you're using a chain of temporal words.
Yeah.
Like then and so.
Then and so. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it just doesn't fly. So he was trying to say this is and then we have it here as well. Well, this says then he completed them, but he said so he formed. And so means like final, like the final step. Usually. It usually means like final step in something. Yeah. I hear it. And see, this is why this didn't make sense to me. Because I mean, I read this in English and it said it just like this, and it made no sense to me. Made absolutely no sense. So.
I'll be dropping again.
All right. Well, thanks again, Ems. Twice in a day. We're so lucky. Thank you, sir.
Twice in a day.
Yeah, twice in a day. Who's got to cook? Yeah, that was just that was a easy dub. But yeah, I mean, it's just wild when people are just saying stuff like that. All right. So
Ems is the Muslim defeater, especially when they try to bring up the whole Arabic. This is why I wish my father taught me Arabic, because I would be in Ems' place on this. But oh man, they they love to lie to the non-Arabic speakers.
Yeah. Yeah, because they do rest on that. They say, oh well, you just don't know the Arabic, so you wouldn't know. And then yeah.
Both of you to assume I don't have friends that speak it.
Exactly. And now I have 2 friends that speak Arabic, so we could take this from 2 sides. Okay, how you doing, Dottie?
Or how you doing, man?
Doing well. For TikTok purposes, are you at least 18?
Oh yeah, I'm 40.
Okay.
Old.
All right. Which well, not as old as me, so you still got a minute to catch up to me. And then what are your preferred pronouns?
man. I don't know.
Well, that's
I
a
don't know.
that's a
Look,
gender. Yeah, man's a
you know,
gender.
because I don't look, man. Look, you have to be. You have to understand all this LBGTQ and all this type of stuff. I don't know pronouns, all that. I don't. I just go off of who I am. Just a man. Just
Okay.
man. You know, just and that's it. Just
Well, what pronouns would you like me to use when I refer to you?
you can just call me Dottie.
Dottie? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't want me to use any pronouns? No pronouns?
No, because I mean, what are you saying? Like my government name? 'Cause
No.
that's a pronoun.
No, like my pronouns are he, him.
Oh,
It's just a respect in modern times. You know, we want to call
well,
people by their
yeah.
proper pronouns.
Well, you can call me he, him. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a man. I would
Okay.
assume that aligns with
Okay.
being a man.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, Dottie. Which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, the Quran?
No, I am agnostic deist.
Agnostic deist. Okay, that's fair. All right. Okay. Do you believe in a mind that created the universe, or at least like maybe a mind that created the universe?
Yeah, my deductive reasoning leads me to believe that.
All right.
Because I'm using my reasoning around me as I look at the embedded code inside of a plant, and I understand the natural process of things that take place. But when you look at how the way sperm swims through a womb,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing that's telling it what to do, right? It's just a natural process that's taking place.
Okay.
And whereas an atheist would look at that as something that's just, it's just the natural order of things. The code that's in the sperm that's to move and behave like
Mm-hmm.
sperm is you would use your deductive reasoning or your practicality to deduce that there's intelligence in there.
Okay. So if I hear what you're saying things like sperm swimming, knowing how to do that, the parent code in plant cells, that's telling you that something intelligent had to be responsible for that.
Intelligence is embedded within the object.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So intelligence is there regardless of how the way you cut it. There's intelligence that's behind it.
Okay.
Now,
In everything?
What in everything that's stable, or else a tree would just turn into a bag of fucking oranges.
Okay.
Right?
What about things that are not stable?
Give me an example.
Like naturally occurring things that aren't stable. You would call a thundercloud unstable. That's because
I would not.
Warm air, cold air.
No,
and then
it's very
creates
stable. It's stable. It's functioning just like a thundercloud. There's reasons. There's mathematical reasons to why a thundercloud developed.
Okay, so I guess it's just a matter of how you look at it. Okay, that's fair. Okay,
Exactly.
So if that's the case, then what we have is, like, for example, sperm swimming, right? You're saying it implies intelligence.
Because of the code being embedded within the object.
Okay.
It's there. It got there based on building on top of another building block. We understand how natural selection happens, but the code, the inception of it all, it has to derive from an intelligent point.
And you're saying sperm swimming, like moving, that implies intelligence. Does everything that moves imply intelligence?
No, I'm saying how the sperm. When I say move, that's using more of a layman's mundane. But I'm saying how the way the sperm is functioning. Its functionality implies intelligence.
Okay. It
So
implies and in what way though? Like why does it imply intelligence?
Because it knows exactly what to do. It knows what it's going for. It ain't like that it goes into the womb and it just going over and just
Well, it
laying dead on the
knows.
side of the fuck. It knows.
Well,
Right?
no, because that implies because like sperm doesn't have brains, they don't have minds, they don't know.
So
It just
so how it just functions,
yeah, it
right?
functions. Yeah.
There you go. See, you see how so this is where you and I have to come to a basis on terms, because
Yeah, I
you're saying
wouldn't
that,
say it knows because
yeah,
knowing
right.
implies a mind. So and sperm
Right.
don't have minds.
Sperm don't have minds, so you just can create one.
Well, they contain the basic building blocks, yeah, and they need
There we go.
an egg in order to do that. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
See, the thing is that
I'm
if
not
you
sure
give
how that
me,
demonstrates intelligence,
I
though.
know. I'm gonna walk you there.
Okay.
But if you give me just a little bit of time, you will begin to walk into your own answers, because you're saying it right now that, yeah, no, there's no brain inside the sperm, so it doesn't know how, it doesn't know that it's doing that,
Mhm.
right? But it has the code, it has the intelligence to develop a brain once it matches with an egg that's separate outside
Yeah,
of the
that
sperm altogether,
doesn't
right?
tell me intelligence though is behind it.
So
That tells me
because
nothing.
there's intelligence behind it, because the intelligence is right there. You're answering your own question, and then you just immediately, just like that's all. It's almost like a child's way of thinking, if you think about it.
No, not really, because because you're presupposing that there's intelligence behind it, and then you're looking for things that match that up. And what
No,
we have, but see, we have scientific evidence of why these things happen, and it has nothing to do with intelligent design. It's got
you
nothing to do
don't
with that.
no and intelligent design. You don't get caught on these old archaic fucking terminologies. Just dust everything off, take a step back, breathe through your nose, relax, and assess the information
Were these things designed?
using your logic and your reason.
Okay.
Do I have wings on my back?
No, I'm asking you if these things were
Well,
designed. That's what I'm asking you.
well,
Were
no,
they designed?
I'm agnostic. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Now, and you said it's some type of intelligence that's behind this, right? So that means that the source would be
Correct.
intelligent. Like they would have some type of intelligent, and there would be purpose or intent, right? Maybe?
Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a fish, maybe it's a team of individuals, maybe it's of a group of women. I'm
Okay, well,
agnostic.
it could be anything. Yeah.
I'm agnostic about the power source.
Okay.
I'm just using my logic and my reason to make deductive logical sense. The
Now
sperm,
would it make sense for this thing to make mistakes? Whatever this
yes,
intelligent thing is behind this, and why?
yes.
What's the purpose?
Well, see, purpose is the experience of it all. What is the purpose of a fucking roller coaster? What is the purpose?
Well, it's to have fun.
Bingo.
Yeah. So,
It's not that deep.
okay. Well, I mean, you can look at a roller coaster and it's pretty clear what its purpose is, right? I'm not really seeing purpose in creating sperm.
Why not? Why don't you see purpose?
Well, that doesn't tell me anything though. Like a why wouldn't they create it? I mean, it doesn't say anything to me.
But give me a reason why we create roller coasters.
The specific reason is for people to have fun. It's entertainment. Yeah.
So
it's entertainment.
then that means that the specific reason for sperm and humans to be born is the fact for you to experience and ride the ride of life.
Why?
For experience, for fun. You just said it.
Okay. So are you saying that all humans have fun in their life experience?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So
Does
that doesn't
everybody
make
have
sense.
fun? No, it
doesn't make
does.
sense.
See, this is what I mean by
That
a
doesn't make
child's way of
sense.
thinking.
That
This
doesn't
is
make
what
any
I mean.
sense.
This is what I mean by a child's way of thinking.
Yeah, I
because
hear what you're
because
saying.
let,
If
let,
it's
let me
if a roller
explain.
coaster
Let
is
me
built for
explain.
fun, and not all people who get on the roller coaster have fun, but see, getting on the roller coaster is a choice, right? We don't have a choice to be here. So
Cor-
there are
To our
you
knowledge, to our knowledge, we don't.
well, I
You
don't
don't even
ever recall having a
it,
choice. I
exact
don't
to your knowledge. Correct. You
well to
don't
my
know.
knowledge,
Right.
but then that would mean though that I would need a mind in order to consciously decide to come here. And there's no evidence that I had a mind
There's
before
no
I was born.
see this.
There's no
Okay,
evidence
so
of
I
that.
don't
So
know.
why would you believe that?
So what is this? Is this a red herring or a straw man that you're doing right now? It's one of the logical fallacies, right?
It's neither.
Because you're completely moving the goalpost.
I'm not
This is
moving the
not what
goalposts.
we're talking.
I'm responding to what you're
This
saying. Because
this is we're not
you said
we're
that we know of we didn't make a choice. And I said, well, I need evidence to know that I made a choice. And choice infers
but
like
this is
a
not what we're
mind.
talking about. We're not talking about choice. We're not talking about that,
Yeah, you
right?
said the word choice. I'm only
No, no,
responding
no,
to
no.
what you said.
No, you brought that up.
Okay,
But
yeah, I
listen,
said I didn't because because you're comparing it to it's a false equivocation to compare it to a roller coaster. Because as I said,
no,
getting
no.
on a roller coaster is a choice, and we didn't have a choice
Oh,
to be born. Nobody had a choice.
and I said to your knowledge.
Right. And so then I said, then my knowledge would imply that I had a mind before I was born because I could make an informed choice. So if I chose to
Okay.
be here, I would need a mind. So I'm just going by
Okay.
what you're saying. I'm just responding to
So
you. So I'm not moving any goalposts whatsoever.
this,
I'm just
but
responding to
see,
you.
let
There is
me
no logical fallacy here.
let me show you something here. What you're trying to do is you're still trying to bring it back to the initial point of the power source and its intent. And I told you already before we began this conversation
I'll
that I'm
give it to you.
agnostic.
Yeah, I heard you. I'll give it to you. This existence could have all happened from a giant farting unicorn in the middle of the galaxy. Could have happened. I'll give you that. It could have been a
That's what
snail.
atheists say.
It could
That's
have been
what
a
atheists
snail.
say.
Yeah, it could have been a snail. It could have been any number of things. I mean, if we can imagine all the possibilities, but that doesn't mean any of it's true, right? And that doesn't mean I
Correct.
should believe it, and that doesn't mean that I should just be like, I don't know. I mean, that would mean you'd be agnostic to everything, right? Because if you don't
Correct.
truly know, well then I should be agnostic to whether my wife's faithful to me. Then I should just
You
I
know,
should be doubtful.
that's right.
I should question her
Not
every.
doubt.
I mean,
No, don't
at some point.
actively you don't have to actively question your spouse. We know that would derive in at a
Well,
fucking
that's what I mean.
standstill of problems.
That's what I
But
mean.
but
Is like you can't be like that in everything, right? Like at some point you either like because like belief means that you have evidence for these things, right? And
so what
I
are you
can't just
saying?
well, I don't have any evidence for what you're saying, which you did say you're agnostic. I'm granting that. What I'm saying though is yes, it's and it is kind of fun to imagine the possibilities like what you're going through. It's fun to think about that. But I'm here for evidence. I'm here for, what evidence do you have? Not like what the possibilities are or what I think it might be. I'm asking
Right.
for evidence.
Okay, so this is a ground principle of being a deist is evidence based, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything, all of my reasoning derives from my logic and my practicality. It doesn't derive from, oh, well, maybe or it could not be or anything like that. I'm simply just looking at what I see, assess the situation, and make a deductive, a reasoning choice that's reasonable to you, to me, to everyone.
Okay.
It seems like
It's reasonable to you. Yeah. Okay.
it should be reasonable to you because if you see something is operating within a frame of intelligence, you ought not just throw it all outside the window and just be like, yeah, but I don't see no God sitting up in the sky answering my prayers.
Okay.
That's childish.
Let me ask you this. What frame of reference are you using? Like show me something that is naturally occurring without intelligence.
Something that is naturally occurring.
Because you need a basis of comparison. If you're saying everything is because Because if you're saying, well,
Something-
everything had to be intelligently designed, it had to have some intelligence behind it. Well, you need a basis of comparison, because then you're just making a presupposition. You're just making an assumption.
Well, I don't know. I think that everything that's natural has intelligence embedded in it, or else there would be chaos and randomness.
How do you know that?
And nothing is completely random, because you have to follow structural code. You have to follow the math. If the math doesn't break, then things stay stable.
Okay.
It's simple.
And
There's
yeah,
intelligence in everything.
that's kind of a category error, though. Yes, it's true. There are functions that occur, and we have discovered the math behind the functions, right? And you're absolutely right. There's constants in the universe. If they're just off a little bit, if gravity's off a little bit, this Earth may not have been formed. Okay. That doesn't indicate intelligence to me, because that's just a leap. That's a God of the gaps thing. You're just assuming that it has intelligence, and you haven't demonstrated it, because you're just saying, well, if gravity was different, the Earth wouldn't have formed, therefore something intelligent did it. Well, how did you get to that point?
Okay, so what you're saying, what you're not doing, is you're not respecting crude nature. So you think refined nature. Yeah, you think refined nature.
I don't even know what that
is
means.
only-
Crude nature, refined nature. I don't even know what any of that means.
Okay,
What's that?
okay, let me help you out. Crude nature is the development of trees, rocks, everything that the earth and nature itself just developed. The universe developed
Okay.
itself without human imposition.
Where did this term come from?
Refined nature are TVs, Wi-Fi, the internet, cars. That's refined nature, because we are still a part of nature, believe it or not. Right. So if you were to, so basically how everything is processing right now, the Cadillac that you're driving, that car should have always been in existence since the start of time, because we're on a linear line through the development of the quote unquote Big Bang, or whatever y'all decide whatever the hell this all is. So since its inception, there's a linear line that's taking place. You have crude nature, where that's outside of human imposition. Then after that, on the linear line, you have buildings, you have the internet, you have nuclear bombs, all that type of shit that's being developed on the whole linear line within the whole universal process, right? That's called refined nature.
Okay. So
Do you get it?
If we look up the definition of nature, all right. So let's just kind of do this one step at a time.
Oh, you don't want to do definitions, because then when you look
We
up,
don't want to do definitions.
Let me tell you why you don't want to do definitions.
We don't want to do definitions
because then if we look up the definition of DNA, I wonder if the word. I wonder if there's words that we can synonymize with intelligence.
Okay.
I wonder.
The phenomena of the physical, DNA is just what we
that part.
called it. Okay.
No,
So
but
nature,
what
the
it
phenomena
is, and
of
what it
the
is.
physical world collectively, including plants,
part.
animals, the landscape, and other features and products of the earth, as opposed to humans or human creations. So that's nature. The basic or inherent features of something, especially when seen as character. That's a different kind of nature, but it's the phenomena of physical world collectively. Plants,
I'm gonna let
animals,
you
the
finish.
landscape, anything
I'm gonna
as
let you finish.
as opposed to humans or human creations. So that would effectively disqualify Cadillacs and iPhones and all the stuff you talk about as refined nature. That's just not a term.
Oh,
so that sounds like something you made up.
Say, look, you want me to kill you right here? You want me to just, I don't want to cut your head off right here, but I could.
What?
But let me explain to you how this is so childish what you're doing. So I'm going to ask you a question.
you're gonna keep disrespecting me like this?
I'm going to ask you a question.
You're gonna call a grown man childish again? Really?
This is
Are we gonna
childish
do
what
this?
you're doing. Let me, it's not
So
you
childish
personally.
is using the dictionary. That's what you're telling me? Childish is using the
No,
dictionary.
childish is not looking at humans as being part of nature.
That's
See,
what the
that's
dictionary
that.
just said.
Oh, so the dictionary says that humans aren't a part of nature, and you said okay.
Yeah, that's what we do with the dictionary. Are you saying the dictionary is wrong?
Okay.
Okay, what's your
Okay,
evidence?
so then-
Okay, what's
so-
your
so
evidence
then
that
go
the
to-
dictionary is
so-
wrong?
So then go to the dictionary and ask them then what are humans? Since we're not natural, then what the fuck are we?
Define. No. We're talking.
are
You
we?
said refined nature.
No, humans aren't
Hold
natural.
up.
We're
Hold
not.
up.
We're not
okay.
a part of nature.
Okay, now you're
We're not a part of
moving
nature.
the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts,
you-
and I can prove it.
You said.
Let's go back
that
and hear the
humans
tape.
aren't a part of nature.
I didn't.
You said humans aren't a part of nature.
Yeah, that's what it says in the dictionary.
What's up? What's up? You want me to cut
Jellyfish.
your hair?
Ross, you got a
want me to cut-
jellyfish.
Oh, you got a jellyfish? All right, gotta go, Dottie.
What's up?
Shout out to
What's
Goblin
up?
Brain
It's
for the
time to go.
jellyfish.
God damn.
Oh, that's
My
what.
brain needs a Midol and some cheese because it has a cramp and it turned into a fucking
With some
pretzel.
cheese.
I'm not joking.
Wow. And
Talk
then he
about a
and then he
twist.
goes in the comments and says, "I won." Okay, if you want to redefine terms, fine. So, brother says, "I don't want to use the dictionary. I'm just gonna make up my own shit." And if you don't agree with me, you're childish. Okay, I'm childish.
Mommy, watch out.
Yeah,
Watch
I was just coming up to tell y'all we did the early kick poll, but then somebody sent the jellyfish. So
Okay, appreciate y'all.
Still
Who did
sound
it? Who completed the early kick poll? Who completed it? Let me see. Because for that, oh, okay, you did. Okay, so you're gonna get Godless Heathen is gonna get a coupon. Actually, I'll give it to you too, Jessica. So Jessica
Yay.
and Godless, you all have a coupon that never expires. So the next time you want to invoke the early kick poll, just say I want to invoke the early kick poll. Yeah.
yeah, it's lit. Yeah, that guy was so emotional. Like, bro, what is going on?
Well, it's just
I
that
had the nerve to call Trust childish. Huh.
he's calling me childish because I wanted to use the dictionary. Okay, whatever.
Those kids in their dictionaries.
Those damn childish kids in their dictionaries, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then he was talking about like cutting my head off. That was just getting weird.
No,
was
yeah, he was
weird.
getting violent.
That was getting weird. Yeah. So, oh goodness. Okay,
Well,
that
you
will
need
be
was
some
saying, like-
haters, I tell ya.
that will
I
be
mean, you
clipped
had
as
that
well.
one yesterday. That one yesterday was fucking wild.
I've gotten so much clippable content this week, I'm telling you. I'm still working on the one from the kick poll record from back in December. The one who got 98 votes to kick. Yeah, I just posted that one. So that full one that long form is on my YouTube page. So
No, my favorite was when he kept saying bingo, like he was making a point. Like, bro, you're not even saying nothing.
I didn't even-
I'm over
yeah.
here watching Sinners. Sinners was tuning his ass out. Like, baby, not today.
it's 47 followers. Rakizi. Now I see why he has 47 followers. Yeah. Man, I was like, I don't know. And I thought it was gonna be like semi like decent when he was like agnostic deist. Like, okay, I think I could roll with this, you know? Usually it's a pretty good conversation, right? But that was rough. That was so rough. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
we had a lot of doozies today.
Yeah, it was a day, wasn't it? It was a day. But you know what? I'm not upset about that. And I'm just sad I did not get to use my prop for circular arguments. I had
That
a
would've
prop.
been good for Jesus Freak.
Yeah,
because
that
he
might have-
was, oh my god.
Yeah, but he went feral like in 5 minutes, so he
Yeah,
didn't
he
last.
did.
Yeah, he went feral. But yeah, I had this, like, I found this. I'm like, oh, I got a short cable. And I used this in my last video that I posted too. So I was like, I'm going to use this today as a prop. But I didn't get a chance to use it. So I'm kind of sad about that. But it's going to be here waiting for the next time. Yeah.
I hope you don't mind I sent all the motherfucking people from my live over to you because I like to see you cook them.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Okay, Dottie is still talking in the comment. Bro, you got sent back to the comments because you did not have boots for this hike. I mean, you were saying English words. It just wasn't forming complete sentences. It just, like, he was just making up his own shit. Refined nature? That's not even a thing.
Right.
It's not even, there's no such thing. Yeah.
You said I was wrecking him. No, we tried to kick you from 2 different angles, bro.
I'm
The
just
jellyfish and the live goal. So
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. That was just that was wild. Oh, but hey, you're in the comments where you belong, Dottie. That's where you belong. But man, that was just something else. Boy, yeah, I had a lot of crazies today. A lot of
Yeah.
crazies.
Did you
but-
say that you had a
I swear I bring them out.
flamingo? Or not a flamingo. What the fuck is it? A Fleming bunny? Those are those huge motherfuckers,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, and the Fleming giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
and
gonna
it-
get my son one, but I saw that they have a lot more care than like a mini Rex
Yes.
or a
They're very high maintenance and ended up breaking its spine because the cat chased it and it was trying to jump over like a barrier. We had like a baby barrier, a baby gate, and we were keeping it in a room, and then it jumped over it to do whatever, and then the cat saw it and chased it, and it tried to jump back, and it didn't make the jump because it's so big, and if you've ever heard a rabbit scream, I just hope you never ever hear a rabbit scream. It's not a good sound, especially at like 2 a.m. It's not a good sound. Yeah, and its 2 back legs were done, so we had to put it under, unfortunately. So
That's rough.
yeah, it was rough. It sucked. But yeah, that was so the screaming rabbit was the worst part. It's not a good sound. Rockeezy, you're there. Not a good sound. I hope nobody ever has to hear that. Even my worst enemy. I don't want my worst enemy to hear that.
See, you're morally better than me because who? Lock them in the room with that little
Yeah,
shit.
you're like who? You're making a list of
I
people
turned
you
into
want to
an
hear
owl
it.
real quick.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I think that's enough internet for today. So I'm gonna close up shop. That's enough for
I
today.
don't blame you. I mean, you
Yeah.
went my live and then, you did your own. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I was just hanging out in yours. I was just in the chat. But yeah, because I was like fixing lunch and making noise, and so I couldn't get up. But I was trying to send you some stuff, to like
Yeah.
talk about some talking points. Hey, Forever Atheist, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing well. Thank you. So this is the part where I bring up friendlies and thank my mods, thank the mods. So Blaster Master 80 is like holding it down on the YTube side. So thank you so much, Blaster Master 80. I appreciate you doing that. And I think Pseudo V Science was in there earlier. He's probably doing his own live now. But yeah, so oh, Sonny can't come up today. Okay. But Sonny's also in the chat too, but we can't properly thank Sonny, but that's okay. We still thank you anyway. But yeah, follows, gifts, W's for my friends here and the mods. That would be great if you guys can swing it. So I just am thankful you guys come up and contribute and we have fun doing this. You guys hang out, just glad it's enjoyable for me. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, who are we going to go raid today? Who can we raid? Who do we got up? Let's see. Pseudo V Science, Volsi, the Bible guy, Lacadian. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of people up right now. So we got our choice of who we want. What do you guys think? Volsi. All right, let's do Volsi then. So we've done Volsi. And we'll do Volsi again. Yeah, we'll treat Volsi nicely. So let's raid Volsi, Volcy. So you're just going to type that. And he's on both platforms. So you can find him on the Tube and on TikTok. So just type in Volcy and you'll find him. And then just go in there and just say TVV raid. That's simple. So otherwise, I'm going to go make enchiladas for dinner. So you guys, yeah. I know. So that's what I'm going to do. We do it. We found these almond tortillas, like they're made of almond flour. And
those are good.
yeah, they're really good. So and then they get a little, you make them a little bit crispy, and then you bake them. Then you bake then you make the enchiladas out of them. Oh man,
Oh, that sounds good.
yeah, it's fantastic. Maybe I'll post a picture in my Discord.
Yeah. We ate my food. I made the jerk chicken pasta. It's
Oh,
bomb.
that's
It was so
right,
good.
you did. Oh,
Yeah.
Listen, you talk about jerk chicken pasta. I came across a video. Oxtail grilled cheese. Listen, the way my mouth salivated.
Ooh.
I
That
needed
sounds
that
real
shit
good.
yesterday.
Ooh, we might have to do that. Okay, oxtail grilled cheese.
Hey!
Might have to do
I
that this
had
weekend.
Oxtail burrito tacos before. Those were
Yeah, those are good too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've had those, but oxtail grilled cheese. How about oxtail burrito grilled cheese? There you go.
Oh my god.
Just mix it all up, combine
good.
it all
Throw
up.
it all together.
Yep, throw it all together. Because that's like a burrito taco. It's just on bread.
Right.
It's a grilled
Right,
cheese. Yeah, it
period.
works the same. Okay.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is a fun live though. I was laughing so hard the last
good.
one.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. I was
Bingos.
having fun too, man. I was having a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Your face was
All right.
hilarious. You're just like, huh?
Yeah. And we got some crash outs and so fun times, man. M's got to come up twice. That was great.
Yes.
You know?
They guessed the ran
He's
twice.
so smart.
Yeah, he is. It was fantastic. So, all right. Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
All right,
everybody
family.
have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you all tomorrow. So take care.
Bye.
And see you in Volsey's Live.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.